Doing WZR Army. Tuesday night, March 11th, 2014. Time to roll them sleeves up and do another edition of WZR TV Tuesdays here on WZROnline.com. I'm Ryan Clark. He's Matt Boone.
Let's take your head off. Headbang to the top.
We're going to be here for the next 2 hours talking pro wrestling. We had the TNA Lockdown pay-per-view on Sunday night. Monday Night Raw last night as well. Lockdown was, we'll get into it here. Wasn't the greatest of pay-per-views.
Before we get into the whole thing of it, I'll just say, thank God I don't have to cover Impact every week. If I just have to do pay-per-views, since they dropped the number down to like 4 or 5, whatever the hell it is per year,
right? I
can live with that.
There's way too much Dixie Carter on Impact every Thursday night. It's Dixie.
She's horrendous too on the mic.
You know what though?
I used to put her over when she first debuted as a heel character, the heel authority figure or whatever.
Yeah.
I would come on here and say, you know what? She's a pretty good heel. Like you hate her, but like now you hate her for the wrong reasons. Like she's too into. And I always get this picture, and it's maybe just in my head because I know too much.
Yeah.
But every time I watch it, I'm like, God, look at this. Like, her dad's wasting millions so that her daughter can play out her fantasy of being a wrestling character and being around all the guys. Oh, I got Sting, my favorite.
It's X-Pac heat, man, is what it is.
Yeah, go away.
She plays a heel, but it's to the point where it's like every single segment, man. She comes out, she cuts an in-ring promo, and then there's backstage segment after backstage segment after backstage segment, and all of them feature Dixie Carter. All of these people, every segment on Impact, they feature Dixie Carter, and it becomes, it comes to the point where it's too much Dixie. Like, every once in a while, you want to do an opening promo to open up a show, maybe a backstage segment or two throughout the show, but it's every single segment. And then they had her at the Lockdown pay-per-view as well on Sunday night, so it's just, man, oh man, oh man.
She starts, and it's like, alright, she's got to at least hit her points.
Yeah.
So she's going to have to go as long as the amount of points she has to make. But on Sunday night, she had made her points pretty early on in the promo. Like, you knew what she was out there for. You got it. Like, alright, she's out here to set this up, or to do, establish this fact.
Right.
But she kept going
and going
after she hit all her main points.
And that's what happens on Impact as well, man, where it's these long, drawn-out promos.
Frauds like to talk.
It may not necessarily be her. I mean, it may be, a lot of it has to do with the creative team, and whoever's booking it. But so, anyways, we're gonna run down TNA Lockdown from Sunday night. You got a chance to take a shower, shave, all that stuff. Here I am with a fucking...
You had plenty of chances. You didn't do it.
It was busy, man. It's been busy the last couple days.
You were dicking around with the kids and stuff.
I
you
know.
Had time.
I know. Anyway,
use your time differently.
It was busy. But
I take the show very seriously.
Yeah, I can tell.
Compared to how I used to. My God.
You got your beers, you got your cigarettes. Boy, do we keep... You know what?
Well, I got 10 whether we're on the air or not.
You know what we figured, though? Every Tuesday night, if we go out and we get, a 12-pack or an 18-pack of beers, and then we come on here and we do a live television program, it makes it, when we drink some beers, it makes it better.
There's more energy.
Yeah. It's better, and I think the people like that more too. Where kick back, drink a couple of beers.
Guaranteed, a night of guaranteed drinking here.
Yeah.
Great.
That too. So we're gonna run down TNA Lockdown and Monday Night Raw here in our numero uno, man. Monday Night Raw last night was pretty good, to be honest with you. A lot better than Lockdown.
Really good.
That's for sure.
Last week was good. This week was good. You can go on the road to WrestleMania.
Every year it gets like this, man. The lead into WrestleMania, they know, biggest show of the year is coming up. So. Who's Teresa?
Everybody in the chat, Teresa. I see 100 Teresas. Right.
Is there a Teresa?
You know what it is? I bet there's probably a girl in the chat. And oh my God, there's a girl listening to WZR. Oh my God, there's a girl. Usually there's a girl.
Whatever happened to Jackie?
Usually there's a girl named Jamie in there, but she won't be in there this week.
No, she'll be somewhere else this week.
She'll be staring through bars.
Through bars?
Yeah. She's in jail.
Handlebar? Oh, jail.
Yeah.
Okay.
She got locked.
But anyways, so Lockdown and Monday Night Raw in our numero uno. In our numero dos, we're going to take your live phone calls. We're going to do rapid fire. We skipped out on that last week. We gave everybody chat shout-outs in place of the rapid fire. Why is your lip is
still bleeding?
No, it's quivering though.
No,
it was shaking. It's weird.
I don't stare at your lips, buddy.
It was weird. When I looked over, your lip was shaking. You cut yourself.
I do that. Yeah, I cut myself with a razor shaving.
Yeah.
It's been bleeding the whole time.
Yeah. That's what happened. You ever get that?
I got all this dried up blood because you wipe it like this. You wipe it, and you look down, and you're like, holy shit.
Guys, ever get that, man? You cut yourself with a razor, and it
especially
bleeds,
on the lip because
bleeds,
it's fleshy and
yeah. It doesn't stop bleeding when you cut yourself with a razor.
That's what I wrote on Facebook. I said, geez. You nick yourself in the lip with a razor blade, and hours later you're bleeding.
Still bleeding, dude.
Bleeding like you got shot with a bazooka. Like it's like Jesus Christ! All I did was think, just barely touched it.
Yeah,
it's like someone said, "Pow!" Shot my face off.
All right. So WWE main event is actually airing live right now.
Somebody asked me if they continue to do it live every single week, and they don't because we were told that it's going to be live through WrestleMania up till WrestleMania.
Right.
So maybe it'll be done after. But if it's not. They were like, well, the whole reason we did it on Tuesdays because you didn't want to compete with Raw, you didn't want to compete with Impact, which ended up getting switched to fucking Thursday or whatever, and SmackDown, I should say, got switched to Friday, and all these changes. But that was the whole reason we wedged ourselves in on Tuesday. There was no competition.
There was no competition. Yeah.
Somebody said, "What's Ryan going to do when he realizes main event's on against you guys every week?"
You know what it is? It's
because
like
look at it this way, real quick. If you have the network, you have the internet.
Right.
And we're only available via the internet.
Who watches, man? It's not like Raw.
So if you're a wrestling fan,
main event.
If you're a wrestling fan, you got the internet. You can click a button and you can watch us, or you can click a button and you can watch the biggest company in the world.
Yeah, I guess.
I'm hoping we beat them out.
No, here's
Our
the deal.
look fine this week.
Yeah, but here's the deal. It's like tonight. Well, first of all, as far as main event is concerned, like Boone just said, they're going to air it live through WrestleMania. It all depends on what happens with Ion TV. WWE's contract with, for main event on Ion TV.
I think this is a sign of how it's going to go.
It expires on April 2nd. Yeah. So let's say, and there's talk that they are not going to renew.
Well, that's what I say. I think this is a sign that obviously they're not going to stay there. They wouldn't fuck you, we're going on.
Well, the reason that they're airing main event live right now through WrestleMania is, you guys know that they did the NXT Arrival special, a couple of weeks ago on that Thursday night, and there were all these problems with the live streams. So they want to make sure that going into WrestleMania 30 that they've got their streaming issues resolved. Now, of course, you're comparing WrestleMania to main event. WrestleMania is going to draw 10 times the amount of traffic.
They've been trying to put stuff on main event that's not I can skip that. They want people to be like, ooh, I want to see that.
Right, and not only that, but like on Raw every week, like last night, they announced 2 big matches for main event.
That's what I'm saying, yeah. Last week they made sure, let's put Daniel Bryan in a match,
Where you've got to tune in to see WWE main event. They've got 2 title matches tonight. The United States title and the Divas title is on the line. Get back to that in just a second. But so main event, they're going to air it, live on the network through WrestleMania. See what happens with Ion TV on April 2nd, and then after that, if they don't renew the deal with Ion TV, then it's going to continue to air live on the WWE network. But it's like last week, WWE main event aired at 7 o'clock Eastern time. When they're on the East Coast, right? And tonight, WWE main event and SmackDown.
Unless they switch SmackDown to be taped.
They wouldn't do SmackDown before main
event. Before.
They wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
They wouldn't do that.
I'm saying that's the way to eliminate the issue.
If they're on the West Coast,
that's what I'm saying. They could if they want. If they're concerned with structuring main event in a guaranteed time slot on their network.
Right.
But I don't think it matters, like you said.
So, like,
that's what it was. I think it's indicative of the relationship with Ion. The fact that they're just, because I'm sure there's something in the contract that says you can't air this show.
It's got to be on our network.
Yeah, you tape it. You can't. Yeah, the first run can't be aired somewhere else, and then we get like, all right, now that everybody's seen it, you can turn your TV on and watch it.
No, that's probably like you're saying.
I think it's like they don't give a fuck. They're like, we're signing, so fuck them. We'll just go in
Ion TV should come out. Yeah, Ion TV should come out with a lawsuit and say, hey, wait a minute, for the last 4 weeks that you were on our network,
and it's in the contract that we got the exclusive first run rights. I would assume.
We don't know what the contract says, but you would assume.
Right. You're a dumb fucking network, TV network, if you don't make sure to say, hey, we get the fucking
first run. Right. But so listen, like tonight they're in Little Rock, Arkansas, right? And Arkansas. They're on a 1 hour delay, right? So they're 1 hour behind us, which is, you know, I know it's
squeaky chair. I got the squeaky.
It's not going to be that late of a night. It'll be about WWE SmackDown spoilers should be up by about 11:15, 11:30 Eastern time tonight. If you guys stay up late for SmackDown, it's not going to be that late. But so right now they're airing, because it's a 1 hour delay, they're airing main event at 8 o'clock Eastern time. Now if they were on the East Coast, it would be 7 o'clock Eastern time. You know what I'm saying? So that's the only reason that we're going.
I forgot St. Patrick's Day's this week. No shit, it's in 2 days.
Next week.
Oh, 13th?
No, it's next...
17th? It's 17th. Yeah, Tim's birthday was on St. Patrick's Day.
Right.
He was Irish. My stepdad.
I think it's next Monday. Next Monday?
Whenever the 17th
is.
My sister's birthday's tomorrow.
I think it's Saturday.
She'll be in jail, so that's kind of a bummer.
Yeah, that's no good.
What are you going to do?
Happy birthday, Jamie. She can't hear us.
Happy birthday. If they get the internet and in jail and people say we want to watch it, I don't know. I highly doubt it. But.
Alright, so, like I said, man, TNA Lockdown in hour number 1.
That pretty. Put them on the computer screen there, guys.
Monday Night Raw in hour number 1 as well. We'll wrap things up in hour number 2. Be taking your live phone calls, doing the rapid fire segment as well. Live chat room on and in progress. Lots and lots of people in there as always tonight. WZROnline.com /chat. WZROnline.com/chat. Lots and lots of people in there as always tonight. Like I said,
I'll tell you by the way that we're transitioning out of winter.
Yes.
And the snow, the chances
you know where I was going.
You know
what I was going to talk about next?
What?
I was going to transition into weather.
Okay, well there you go. Okay. I didn't know that. Honest to God, guys, I didn't.
No, you didn't.
But
I know you did.
Yeah, I figured. Well, you got to know because you didn't tell me. We don't talk about anything. We just get on here and babble.
Right.
Yeah, like it's like people in Florida where I'm from.
Mm-hmm.
Like Jamie put up pictures the other day. My sister put up pictures the other day of the kids at the pool. They were at a hotel. The kids are in the pool. A lot of old friends of mine, Susie, you know her. They're posting pictures.
Nice and warm down there.
They're posting pictures. They're laying out on the beach, like it's like they're fucking. And we still got mountains of snow out here.
Yes, we have a lot of
snow, but it's still there.
So I haven't even. You know me. Whenever we're about to get a snowstorm, you always hear me talking about it. Oh, we're gonna get this much, and this much.
And they have no idea how much you talk about it off air.
Tell everybody on here. I say, hey, the Northeast is in for a big storm. I haven't said a word to you because I wanted to break it to you tonight.
This is
live, right now. Yeah. I wanted to break it to you tonight.
I can't wait.
10 to 18 inches of snow.
Really?
Tomorrow.
We're still getting snow?
Tomorrow.
Jesus Christ.
Tomorrow, brother. Supposed to start. First of all, the big cities, Philadelphia, New York City, Boston, they're getting all rain. Up here, we've got just enough cold air in place. By the way, today,
it was beautiful outside.
52
That's
degrees.
What made me bring it up, because like everybody had the windows, the curtains, and the windows open, like the living room, with your sister, your room. I'm looking outside, I'm like, God damn, it looks nice. And then I remembered everybody posting pictures, swimming beach at Florida. I'm like, all right, so pretty soon, I'll be able to. We got a pool here at the apartment. I'll be able to go swimming and stuff. Yeah. And you're telling me now that we get a foot and a half of snow.
52 degrees today, and starting tomorrow morning, about 8, 9, 10 o'clock in the morning, snow is going to come in. It may mix with a little sleet and freezing rain during the afternoon hours tomorrow.
Disgusting.
It's going to be a nasty day tomorrow. But then, after the sun sets tomorrow, by the way, we have to set the clocks ahead this weekend. So seems weird, man. Where it's 6:30, 6:30, and it's still light outside.
Yeah,
Seems a little bit weird, But, so anyway, around 5, 6 o'clock tomorrow, all that sleet and freezing rain is going back to snow. Heavy snow tomorrow night into Thursday a.m. They're talking about 10 to 18 inches by the time we wake up on Thursday. And then we're in March. So normally our average high right now is about 40, 45 degrees. They're talking about highs in the teens. They're talking about highs in the low 20s. For the next 2 weeks, man, we're going to be in the 20s, man. We're supposed to be... Wake up.
Ugh.
Wake up.
I'll be catching in before the show.
Wait a minute.
Backhand, too.
That was a weak one. That was weak.
I'll be the judge of that. You'll get one back.
Well, don't ever sleep on my fucking weather forecast,
dude. Boring.
I should have. If you're going to get me back, and I know you're going to get me back 10 times as hard, so I should have slapped the shit out of you.
You probably should have.
I probably should have.
What's done is done.
So anyway,
in the bank, waiting, cashing in later.
You ain't shit. But anyways, so 10 to 18 inches of snow when we wake up Thursday morning, and then not only that, but St. Patrick's Day. I believe it's next Monday. I think it's Monday. It's Sunday or Monday.
Here's how long this takes. Ready?
Yes.
Let's end the debate. 17th is when?
Monday.
Monday.
That's what I've been saying all along.
Monday.
So
you don't have to say think anymore.
But anyways, Monday.
Monday.
So we're supposed to get some light snow on St. Patrick's Day.
Do we get green beer around here? You guys get green beer?
Green beer?
They sell green beer at certain places for St. Patrick's Day.
I don't think that beer's beer.
Well, you get green beer.
You know what they do?
At bars, I know.
The ski resorts around here, they dye the couple of the trails. They dye it.
They're talking about the green beer. So yeah, at the bar they'll put. It's probably just food coloring or whatever the fuck.
It's something. Whatever they put in the snowmakers.
Everybody's around green beers.
Right.
Looks gross, but tastes like beer. Gets drunk like beer.
So anyway, big storm coming tomorrow into Thursday. What else? I put a couple things in the show file here. It says right there, massive storm coming.
We got to talk about the Super Bowl next.
Oh, I didn't save any of this stuff. No, you saw me doing the show file earlier, but
we set up early this week.
I know we did, but it's not here anymore. So anyway,
are they in Des Moines? Is that accurate?
No, they're in Little Rock. Like I said tonight, dude. Hold on a minute. I edited the show file, and I made sure to save.
Oh, dude, that's been open for a while. That file.
Is that what it is?
When I logged on I use this computer for pay-per-view streams. I use it for Lockdown. The show file was the first thing I saw.
Oh, here it is.
Here it is. There. Yeah.
So we can't really talk about this, but one more thing. We're taking the fuck over, brother, and we'll leave it at that. We're taking the fuck over. Matt Boone and I are taking the fuck over as far as work is concerned. We can't get into it any more than that, and it doesn't.
I'm taking over. I'm bringing you along for the ride.
You're bringing me. I brought you along for the ride a little bit.
You did.
All right, no doubt.
You pay me back for bringing you along for the ride in the first place.
No, let's not get into that whole thing.
2 to 1. I'm leaving.
Yeah. So anyway, we got some big stuff planned, man. You're gonna be doing some stuff. I don't know who's listening, so I don't want to talk about it any further.
And I don't know how sure any of it is. I've been telling you.
I know. But we're talking to some different people from some different places, and
these guys wouldn't care about it.
They probably wouldn't. But we're making some big new moves as far as more money and could involve more money, more a lot of politics in pro wrestling, like backstage, behind the scene at Raw and SmackDown and Impact and all that. A lot of politics in the reporting game. A lot of politics as well, and we'll leave.
Not as much now as it used to be when we were first starting.
It used to be bad,
which is why getting you in was like a big deal back then. Right. Nobody new came in unless they really had the right friends.
Right.
We didn't know each other, but I liked you right off the bat, so I'm like, this is my guy. You're hiring him.
Right.
Deal with it.
Well, I turned out to be your bitch. I turned out to be your bitch because I was plugging your websites.
And look who's co-hosting the show now. I'm your bitch. So, but there was
15 years, brother. We've been
never Mitch Newton.
Yeah.
I always fire you. I said, no. You don't fire Ryan Clark. He's worked into the system now. You don't fire him.
Mitch was
the fuck alone.
Dick, man. Man, he was a dick. Anyways,
good old days.
Let's get into it, man. We've got a lot.
Let's talk about that real quick. Do you know what happened with him? Because all I saw was his recovery message.
I haven't heard any updates. I mean, listen. I put it up on the website.
He posted an update on Facebook and said he's home now. He's better. Blah, 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 but I don't know what he was talking about.
All right. No. I mean, listen. Big Vito and myself and Matt Boone, we've been friends for years and years.
About 15 years.
A long time now.
When we first started, he was around. He put us on the map, dude. Come on.
Couple months ago, he made some comments about putting us on the map. It upset me, and I know Boone as well. Boone didn't get into it as much as I did, but Big Vito and I went back and forth on Facebook and some text messages and things like that, and things got a little bit heated and whatnot, and I haven't spoken to him in a couple of months, but whatever. Listen, the guy was hospitalized within the last couple of weeks. I'm not sure exactly what happened, but
I know he wrote in his recovery message. I shared it on my Facebook account, which you can get to by going to facebook.com/Matt Boone WZR. But he wrote in his status that it was life-threatening, whatever it was. Now, he likes to exaggerate. Maybe he stubbed his toe and he said, I almost died. But
you never know.
He sounded like he was pretty serious, so I hope he's okay.
Hopefully he's all right, man.
He sounds like he is.
Yeah, so. if he's back home, hopefully he's doing all right. But I would never wish anything bad upon him, man. I mean, listen, we've had our ups and downs, and we've argued in the past. Yeah. We've argued in the past and going back. It's happened over the years numerous times, and hopefully he's all right. So
you're stubborn ass, prideful. I was telling you that off the air a few minutes ago. That's something unrelated, but this guy's got he's got so much pride. He can't. Like I used to tell him back in the day, as far as business, I'd be like, sometimes you gotta kiss a little ass to get ahead. He's like, I'll kiss ass. I'm like, well, you don't gotta really kiss ass, but you could just say what people want to hear, kind of thing. He's like, I won't do it.
I
respect you for it. Believe me, I'm like that in not work situations, not in work situations, but for work. I'll say what I gotta say.
You see it on the news all the time, and especially with celebrities and things like that. Somebody says the wrong thing, right? Somebody will say one wrong thing, and the media jumps all over. Oh, you have to apologize.
Anything
you have to apologize.
Misogynist or racist, you be fucking killed.
And they always do. They always collapse, and they always cave into it and say, all right, I'm sorry.
Apologies.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean it, blah, 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 blah. Listen, if you say something, you know damn well that you said it, you were thinking
Stand up to it, own up to it.
Stand up to it and say, I am not fucking apologizing, this is how I feel, and if you don't like it, too fucking bad. But then people go and they lose jobs over it.
Sponsors and
you lose sponsors and everything else, so they feel forced, like, I've got to apologize.
That brings to mind you're a big ECW fan, when Raven did they did the cross with the Sandman. They put him on the crucifix.
Right.
Kurt Angle was at the show, and he said, I don't want none of that kind of shit, blah, blah, blah. Long story short, Paul Heyman sent Raven out to apologize, because he got, ooh, instead of you motherfucker, I want to see Sandman kick your ass. They're almost like, what the fuck was that?
Right.
So they sent Raven out to apologize, and it was the most insincere. He described it on...
Good for him, man.
He described it on the documentary, Forever Hardcore documentary that Jeremy Borash and all those guys did. He said, I tried my best to be sincerely insincere, and I think I accomplished that. If you see the apology, he's pretty much like,
I apologize.
If you're offended, I apologize.
All right. So, anyways, here we go. Let's get into it, man. WWE SmackDown, like we said, being taped tonight in Little Rock, Arkansas. It's about a 1 hour delay tonight. Looking at about 11:15, 11:30 Eastern Time for WWE SmackDown spoilers. No main event spoilers. It's airing right now on the WWE Network. Don't tune away. There is talk on WWE main event. There's 2 title matches, like we talked about earlier. The United States title match.
They only do 2 matches, too, right? On the whole show.
2 or 3. 2 or 3.
Superstars is usually 2. They do 3 on main event usually.
There is talk that AJ Lee is going to be dropping the WWE Divas title sooner rather than later. Whether that happens tonight,
do they save it for Mania, or do they go into Mania with a new champion?
That's the thing, man. Did they save it for WrestleMania? Or, they're trying to get everybody to tune in every Tuesday night to the WWE Network. Hey, you've got to say, if they switch the title, that's going to make people believe that, wow.
Shit that matters happens on this
show. They did a title change on main event. Now I've got to tune in every Tuesday night.
They do that at house shows every once in a while. They'll switch the title and do a big angle, and people are like, wow, I might, when they come to my town, I should probably go.
TNA just did it with the Bromans losing the TNA
that one was pointless.
You know what I mean?
Because the Bromans ended up going to Japan. We said this on the air,
and they won the titles back.
And we were on the air, and you said, well, that's because Bromans ain't going to Japan. I said, I think they are. And you're like, no, they're not.
They weren't originally scheduled.
I don't know if they were or weren't, but they definitely went and won them right back. So it was completely pointless.
Yeah. But it's still the fact that,
TNA's attendance at house shows and even at pay-per-view.
Oh my God, at the Lockdown, bro. I put the photos up on the websites.
1,200, I think, in attendance?
No, there was 1,500 or 1,600, but the walk-up was pretty strong, man. I mean, they had 900 tickets sold.
That was the advance,
900 sold for the advance, like you said. And there was about 600 or 700.
I think it was high 800s, and people just say 900. But it was like 867, 893.
And then they doubled that. They doubled that with the walk-up. I mean, 600,
which is really good.
Yeah, very good.
So they could have spread, like you said. I don't know why. If you got 1,600 people in a building, even if it's a big building,
spread them out.
Or put them on one side and only shoot that side. Like there's ways to make it look like they have a big crowd there.
You know what they did on the hard camera side? They filled up the entire, that half of the arena, or as much as they could with the 1,500.
It was a big building. Where were they? They were in Miami. What a building?
That's the thing. It was Miami too. It's a hot market.
You know which building they went to?
They were at a college.
That's right.
Miami University or something like that. So you're thinking, you know what? A lot of college kids.
Well, I'm saying the building can hold what? Fucking 15, 20,000, maybe 30,000, something crazy big number.
Probably about 15,000, maybe 15,000.
You only got 10% of the building full. It's kind of hard to.
It wasn't good. Not only that, but it's a college
town.
Why
would they run a building? Because in the...
But you know what, dude? It's a college town. My thoughts is, it's a college town. College kids would come to see wrestling, but there was no beer. There was no beer.
There's no beer, but also, like, when they rent a building out, the rental fee.
Yeah,
isn't it way more for a big building as compared to a small building?
They're probably
heard stories, and I don't know if you've heard them. I know I heard
it. I've heard they had to pay.
Yeah, not only do they pay the rental, the building fee, but because their ticket sales are so shitty,
right?
Not only do they not make money on the shows, but they end up owing money to the building.
They're owing money to the arenas that they run. It's
That's
the TNA
sad.
TNA King.
I can see for house shows maybe. For fucking pay-per-views.
They come to the Times Union Center, dude, which is a 15,000 seat arena, and they draw 1,500 people. And it's like,
why wouldn't they go? Name another. You know buildings and stuff very well. Why would they name a shitty small building?
The Armory, the Auburn Armory, dude, holds 3,000 people.
Why wouldn't they go there?
Right.
Because then you got you could maybe fill up a third of the building, get 1,000 people, which even that's kind of fucking shooting it high. But
yeah, man, it was Lockdown was not good, but they had like the first 5 or 6 rows on the one side, non hard camera side, and then the other side they had everybody there, and they never showed a big shot of the entire building.
Yeah, no, they never did a crowd shot. Yeah.
They never did it on the pay-per-view. So, all right, so here let's talk about TNA Lockdown. Get to our live chat room. Lots and lots of people in there. As always tonight, WZROnline.com/chat, WZROnline.com/chat. All right, TNA Lockdown. We'll do this real quick, man, because it was not a good pay-per-view. I heard the opening match in here, the Great Muta.
I'm
marking out a little bit.
Yeah, dude, I grew up with Great Muta and Sting and NWA and all that stuff. Like,
it was
WCW or whatever. But,
it was the Great Muta, Sonata, I believe they call him, and
they just call the other guy Yasumi or Yasumi,
something like that.
Yamui.
They were teamed up against it was Chris Sabin, Christopher Daniels, and Frankie Kazarian. Great match.
Bad influence
to kick off
and Chris Sabin, and it was. I wouldn't say great. It was good.
It was a really good match.
It was pretty damn good. Yeah.
Muta still got it, man. What's he, 40-something?
From what I hear, Muta's like the Japanese Kurt Angle. Like he has trouble getting around. Like he's really beat up.
But then when he gets in the ring.
Yeah, that's what I was getting to. I had heard his body's so beaten up and taxed that like he can't move around that great. But in the match, he was still fucking doing some pretty cool shit.
Now here's the deal with Great Muta and TNA. Jeff Jarrett is the one that brokered the deal between Muta and TNA.
Muto.
Right. But he was the one that brokered the deal.
Yeah, we got the pictures of them at Muta and the
at
TNA
the headquarters,
shaking hands with Jarrett.
Right.
Yeah.
He brokered the deal for Wrestle One and TNA to do the joint pay-per-views, and now Jeff Jarrett's gone. Let me say something about Jeff Jarrett. Jeff Jarrett's been releasing these videos, kind of open up.
Clips, yeah.
It's coming. New promotion's coming. You ever notice?
Write the date down. What's the date that he said he's going to make
the day after WrestleMania?
Okay, April 7th.
April 7th.
Yes.
The day after WrestleMania. I will give him credit. He is a smart businessman where he knows. If you guys ever notice, all the videos that he releases are on Monday. They are on Monday or Tuesdays. Normally Monday. But he knows that the highest traffic days on the internet, I mean, you and I have been doing this for years.
The peak wrestling interest in general, that's when he makes announcements.
He does it on Monday and Tuesdays, post-pay-per-view days, like you said, man. He knows when internet traffic is at its highest, is at its peak.
Yeah, and guys like us are looking for stories that we care about the post. We know there's a lot of traffic. Let's give them some shit that's interesting today.
So he knows that the day after WrestleMania, even more so than WrestleMania day, that Monday and Tuesday, the day after, man, are always the highest,
because people come on, especially for the internet, if you're talking about specifically.
Absolutely.
They come online to see, because a lot of people won't order the pay-per-views. Let's go online and see who won the matches. Let's see what they did.
Absolutely. So, the day after WrestleMania, he's going to make the big announcement. I'm guessing that as long as everything is finalized at that point,
it sounds like the way he's talking, and it's hard to gauge, but it sounds like he's got TV locked up. Like he's got a TV deal to do with this thing.
Sounds like he's got a roster that's ready to go, that they've all signed.
Either verbally agreed or contractually agreed.
And they've all signed no, you know, what's you can't talk.
Deal memo.
You can't talk.
Yeah.
Non-disclosure type agreements.
Sure, yeah.
Where
but like a deal moment to where they're committing, even though it's not an official hard contract, but they're committing to they're agreeing.
Now, what do you think? Toby Keith is the main backer for the company. What do you think? Something like CMT, Country Music Television?
That would make sense.
Something like that.
And that's a good. Hey, listen. Cable TV is cable TV. You know what I mean? It's not like the old days. Like cable TV, everybody's got it pretty much. You know, so any channel, as long as you got wrestling fans that give a shit and you give them something that they care about, I don't care if it's on fucking Lifetime or fucking
not only that,
channel, the Weather Channel.
I just read an article that CMT right now has one of, if not the hottest show on television right now. It's basically Jersey. No. It's Jersey Shore. With rednecks, where they go out to the clubs and they party and everything else. And this show is drawing crazy.
You goddamn son bitch! You took my woman from me.
Exactly what it is.
You took my woman.
They go out to the bars and they fight and they do all this other stuff, right? But it's rednecks. It's
you don't live in my girl.
So, I mean, this show is getting ratings through the roof. So it's not like everybody says CMT, it's not Spike TV or a USA Network, something like that.
Cable's cable.
CMT has one of the highest rated shows on television right now. So
and cable's cable.
Right.
If you don't have to order a special channel to see it, like if you can just turn your TV on and
turn your TV on, flip through, and you can see it exactly. All right, so that was a really good opening match. Rockstar Spud comes out and he announces, you know, Madam Dixie Carter,
Queen Dixie or whatever.
Queen Dixie. She comes out, dude, and like you talked about it, on and on and on and on and on and on. It just kept going and going and going. She said that the basic gist of it was Willow, Jeff Hardy.
Not Willow, Jeff Hardy. That was the swerve at the end. Jeff Hardy's not allowed, blah, blah, blah. And then, alright, well, Jeff Hardy didn't come. It was actually Willow.
It was actually Willow that came.
But Jeff Hardy.
Her whole promo was Jeff Hardy is banned from the building.
No, she made a couple points. I don't remember them off the top of my head, but that was one of them. And then New York insurance policy.
The fans doubt her business aspect.
And New York insurance policy.
New York insurance.
Which turned out to be, we'll talk about it, I guess.
Right. It's her company, and you know, she's invested all this money.
Do you know who the New York insurance policy is?
The New York insurance policy?
That was her guarantee that her team's going to win. She had an insurance
policy. Right. Her team...
What was the insurance policy from New York?
The insurance policy for... Bully Ray eventually came out at the end.
Hyped that up too. So there was a couple points.
And then Bully came out and wound up screwing her. We'll talk about it here in a second. Alright, we had Samuel Shaw and Ken Anderson.
Oh my God.
The deal here, dude, is...
Let me ask you this. Which was worse? The Dixie Carter promo or this whole fucking segment /
Well, first of all, here's what I don't like about it. Here's what I don't like. And maybe I'm nitpicking.
Kind of a dark angle, too.
That's alright, so I'm not nitpicking.
No.
I mean, the dude's on the top of the cage.
Kids watch wrestling.
Right.
For the most part. Teenagers, kids, whatever.
Yep.
What a fucking shitty situation.
At the beginning of the match, the dude is on top of the cage saying,
I'm going to kill myself.
I'm going to jump and I'm going to kill myself if Christy Hemme, the girl that I have a crush on, I love her to death, and she needs to come out here right now.
But my God.
Or I'm going to jump from the cage and I'm going to try to kill myself right now. And then Anderson comes out. And he's basically saying, jump, motherfucker, jump! Jump!
You'd only hurt your ankles.
He's like, you're only going to break your ankles. It's not like you're going to kill yourself. It was like, what
But he did say you should go on you need at least a 3-story building if you're gonna do what you're thinking about.
What are you
giving people ideas. Like, if you want to commit suicide, you got to jump really fucking high.
You can't go from the top of the cage. You got to go about 3 stories up, and then you'll have a chance at killing yourself.
You got everybody to chant something creepy. What was the creepy chant?
Creepy bastard.
Creepy bastard. Yeah, so that was funny, I guess. I don't know. Mr. Anderson.
I
don't even watch TNA. And when he was in WWE, that was when I was in the MMA world, so I wasn't even really watching him then. So I haven't seen a whole lot of Mr. Anderson, and he's still played out to me.
Can I say this?
That whole thing is played out to me. I've barely even seen a lot of it.
When Ken Anderson cuts a promo, I think that the dude on the microphone, I think he could be awesome. But he
takes it galore,
But he takes it overboard. It almost gets to the point where it's like, It's two totally different people, but it's like John Cena corniness.
Yeah.
It's John Cena. They're two totally different people, but he's too into himself.
Way into himself.
Where he goes overboard, and it's like, all right, dude, you're trying to be funny, but you're taking it 3 steps beyond where you need to go with it. Stop at the original.
Shit-eating grin and that shit-eating personality where like, oh, everybody, you're gonna love this line I'm about to say. Oh, this is gonna be really funny. And
just do your lines, bro, and go with it. You try too hard. You try too hard.
I do remember the first time I saw that stuff, though, because as a kid, you know me, I love boxing and now MMA. But as a kid, when you watch boxing, when they would do the introductions, they would always repeat the last name. And I thought that was so clever for him to do that in wrestling. Mr. Anderson.
Right.
Anderson. Like that, I thought that one thing alone was like, yo, that's cool.
While we're on the subject, real quick, because we never bring up boxing and UFC here, Alvarez and Angulo. Canelo Alvarez and,
Alfredo Angulo.
Angulo. Okay. Listen. We had a great fight, okay? Not a great fight, it was a good fight.
It was getting good.
It was getting very good.
Getting good, yeah.
It was getting very good, and listen, Angulo was taking a beating.
Yes.
Okay? He was
the entire time, and he was starting to fight back a little bit.
He was starting to fight back, but there was no doubt that he was taking a beating. And
he was turning it into a dogfight, no pun intended. I don't know who was it. Tony Weeks?
Tony Weeks.
Okay,
referee Tony Weeks.
Black
all
guy
of a sudden,
the flap top.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Canelo hits an uppercut, I believe.
Great shot.
It was a punch. Very, very good shot, right? And Tony Weeks jumps in and says, no, that's it.
That's all.
Now listen,
what?
I don't throw all the blame on Tony Weeks, as the announcer said after the fact that doctors were outside and specifically told Tony Weeks,
if he
takes any more big shots, you got to stop the fight. You got to, and that was a great shot. You just said,
but you wait to see how he reacts.
The way that he reacted, he was ready to fight back. He was ready to fight back.
His head hadn't even come down. Like, all right, he hits the uppercut, so the head goes up, right?
Yeah.
His head wasn't even back down yet before the dude was in there saying, no more.
Dude.
Like, you got to see if it affected him. Like, sometimes, if you've been punched in the face really hard, sometimes it looks a lot worse than it is.
Right. And you're not the guy taking the punch.
There's that sweet spot they can get you in,
right,
and it'll turn your lights out, you'll be out. There's other times you get hit with a fucking monster shot, and it'll look devastating, but to the person that gets hit, it's kind of like, all right, well, I got hit. Shit, I'm hit.
It was one of the worst stoppages. I can't put all the blame on Tony Weeks. I mean, I get it. Tony Weeks doesn't want to lose his job.
He doesn't want to be in trouble. And there's been a lot of controversy.
He doesn't want to lose his job.
In big boxing matches, there's been a lot of controversy with refs and judges lately from some of the stuff they've done in Mayweather fights, Pacquiao fights.
Tony Weeks, after the fight, even went up to Angulo and said, dude, I don't know what happened. I'm sorry. I apologize. Tony was told on the outside, one more shot. You have to stop this fight. Maybe Tony didn't want to stop the fight.
Yeah, no, maybe he just didn't want to get in trouble, like you said.
The other what?
The other shocking thing about all of this was the way the Army reacted. Because they're not aware of all these points you just made. The doctors were telling that this stuff wasn't really known yet. So they're just reacting to a guy getting hit and a guy stopping it, and they're all like, no, that was a good
stoppage. What are you talking about?
I had to come to your aid on that one. As the resident MMA boxing, I'm not an expert, but educated guy, I'm like, that was not a good stoppage.
I was sitting
there.
That sucked. I was sitting there, I'm telling you, I said, dude, I'm not, you see people all the time, NFL games, hockey games, whatever. All
that stuff games, I'll heed to you and be like, is that a good play or is that a good game?
People say all the time,
no,
this is rigged, this is fixed, everything is fixed, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
I have seen it time and time again, not in other sports. I don't say it for the NFL, I don't say it for the NHL, baseball, all that stuff. I don't say it for that. I have seen it time and time again in boxing, that there is some shit in professional boxing that is fixed. I'm sorry, dude, and I think
there's a lot of dirty shit.
Yeah. There's a lot of dirty shit that goes on, and something happened on Saturday night, dude, where I don't want to say
Canelo's the golden boy.
I don't want to say it was fixed, right? But they were in Angulo's home country, right?
they weren't in outside the U.S.
I thought we were talking about that, where they were in Angulo's home country or something.
Well, they're
like
both
that.
Mexican, first of all. I thought they were just in Vegas. No,
I'm not sure, but I thought we were talking about it was in somebody's hometown or.
That was Crow Cop.
You're right. You're
Yeah,
right. That was the kickboxing. But
he got screwed too.
It seems like boxing over and over. There are things that happen in boxing where there's just been some shady shit, man. I don't like to use the word fixed, and maybe it was fixed. I don't know, but there was some real shady shit, man.
I love RKO 408 in the chat. I love that guy. He's always in there. He's a regular. You're wrong. It was not a good stop.
It was a terrible stop.
Two guys died from injuries in boxing this year. All right, that's tragic. What the fuck does that have to do with the way that fight got stopped?
It's a terrible stoppage, man. If you really think that was a good stoppage, come on, man. You know? Alright, let's get back to
we talked about MMA and stuff. The Crow Cop, Remy Bonjasky kickboxing match. I haven't read any feedback that said that decision sucked, this and that. We both seem to agree. Yeah, like it was probably not a crazy bad decision because I had what 2-1. You had a 2-1.
It was fair, but
it was a close-ish fight. But I thought A, Crow Cop won, and B, they're in his hometown, so he's gonna have to really lose the decision.
Right.
He, in my opinion, won 2-1 out of the 3 rounds. Which, by the way, I couldn't believe it was only 3 rounds. Considering that. Well, anyway, so the decision goes to Bonjasky, and I haven't seen a lot of outcry about that.
Right.
And there was a UFC too.
I didn't see UFC. Did you ever watch?
No, I never did. No. Alexander Gustafsson beat Jimmy Manoa, so he's ready for Jones. If Jones gets back to Shera, gets past Teixeira, and like you said, the Melvin Gillard Michael Johnson fight supposedly sucked.
Yeah, that's what people were saying.
Gillard lost that one. So.
All right, back to TNA Lockdown. So Samuel Shaw and Ken Anderson do. Basically, what happened is Christy Hemme got involved at the end. The hole that they used to shoot through the cage.
Ken Anderson escapes the cage. He wins.
Right.
But the ref's been bumped before that. The ref didn't see it.
Ugh.
So he goes back to save Christy, and in all the chaos and stuff.
Christy is left in alone with
like you said, they got those holes in the camera holes in the cage for the camera.
You're right.
So Sam drags her through that hole, and the ref's finally getting up. Anderson goes to save her. So
they're all having her, by the way.
Yeah, and the ref doesn't realize that Anderson already won, so Shaw leaves finally, and they ring the bell, and Shaw wins. So
Shaw wins. Ken Anderson eventually
he really comes off as a creepy. I wonder if that's kind of his personality, because
that might be backstage.
Sometimes they'll have a personality, and they'll make their character an exaggerated
you're looking
version.
Way too much in
No, but I'm saying sometimes people have a certain personality and they'll make their character an exaggerated version of that. I wonder if he's creepy and they're like, let's make him a creepy stalker because he's kind of weird.
They did with that.
Or if it's the other way around, like they're just like, we got nothing for him, here's an idea.
They did it with Abyss, man, where Abyss is he's paranoid, bro. He's real paranoid at backstage where they say the Joseph Park thing where he's real paranoid and he's always trying to work out his matches.
He'll come into play later.
He doesn't want to make mistakes and things like that. And that was another angle. All right, real quick. We're going to do this in 5 minutes, man. We'll leave 10 minutes for Raw. We'll come back on the flip side, finish up Raw. Okay. Ethan Carter III against. He came out. He issued an open challenge to anybody on the roster. It was originally scheduled to be Ethan Carter III and Kurt Angle. Yeah. Kurt Angle's beat up, man. He just underwent surgery. So he was unable. He had to
and they shot the Angle to explain that
shot the Angle.
Put EC3 over a little bit. He injured Angle. And that's
right.
Even though it was an already existing.
So Ethan Carter issues an open challenge to anybody on the TNA roster.
Keywords. Anybody on the
TNA roster. Music hits and out comes
Bobby Lashley.
Bobby Lashley, man. They kept this a
poor man's Brock Lesnar.
Poor man's Brock Lesnar.
WWE superstar who had a collegiate wrestling background that was going to be a beast in MMA because he looked like a monster and then got knocked out motherfucker out by a nobody.
To TNA's credit, they kept it a secret. None of us saw it coming.
I didn't know.
And nobody heard anything about Bobby Lashley. He came out. Bobby Lashley's a big name in the business. I mean, when he was in WWE,
he's a big boy too. He's a big fucker.
Big name. Still looks jacked.
That's what I mean. Physically big. Yeah.
So he comes out, and Ethan Carter's kind of throwing a fit here. You're not on the TNA roster. I said anybody on the TNA roster. This led to Bobby Lashley basically spearing him, and that was it.
He hit a power bomb, some kind of finisher, and there was no finish though.
There was no finish.
EC3 ducked out the back door, and that was it. So I'm like, all right, I thought that was supposed to be a match.
But listen, Bobby Lashley's back in TNA. It was on a terrible pay-per-view. This was one of the things where you're like, you know what, that's kind of cool, man.
Yeah, it was noteworthy.
It was Bobby Lashley's.
But the other thing with him is, I love how people get excited about this stuff. Now, after one surprise pop, he's Batista. He can't cut a promo.
Well, that's what it is. Right.
Can't work a match. He's a guy that looks impressive.
Just see the backstage
look how
video.
Fucking big that he looks like a star.
Well, ImpactWrestling.com put up a backstage video with Lashley saying it's great to be back. Nobody knew I was coming. This, that, and the other thing. And you're right. He can't cut a promo for the life of him.
He's not a great worker.
You know. What else? We had Manic against Tiger Uno. I didn't know much.
Tigre. How do they say it? Tigre Uno. Tigre Uno.
Tigre?
I think they say Tigre. It's either Tigre or Tigre.
I don't know much about him.
Tigre Uno.
Tigre.
Tigre.
That's what it is. Tigre.
Yeah, Tigre.
I didn't know much about him, but it was a good match while it lasted. It wasn't.
It wasn't as good as I expected because they hyped it up, and I'm like sitting here like, oh, these guys are gonna rewrite wrestling right now because we know Mannequin. He's like that old. It's not the same guy. It's not Amazing Red, is it?
Manic is used to be Frankie Kazarian under the Suicide mask.
Yeah.
Suicide used to be.
Oh God!
T.J. Perkins, the guy from Ring of Honor.
Yes, T.J. Perkins. So, we know Manic can do all kinds of crazy shit.
Right.
And they hyped up this Tigre Uno as a guy who's even crazier. Mike Tenay was doing a great job selling him.
Right.
And his credentials on commentary. And then the match was all right.
Right.
It wasn't nothing special though, I don't think. Then we got to a match that was, if it's the one I think. Yeah.
It's James Storm and Gunnar. A lot of chair shots in this one, man. Last man standing.
Best match on the show.
Best match on the show. I agree
Easily,
with that.
in my opinion.
I agree with that.
I thought that match was great. And I wasn't expecting it to be.
Right.
Like James Storm, he's a good, decent character.
He's a good worker, though, man.
Pretty
James
good
Storm's
in the ring. Yeah. Gunner is Gunner, but it turned out to be fucking.
They're trying to push Gunner.
They're doing a great job too.
Homegrown
as the army guy and all that stuff. Yeah, and they had his dad like crying in the interview before the match. Like it was brilliantly built up.
The video package was
brilliantly built up. Probably the best built match of the night as far as the pre-packages and all that. And then the match itself delivered probably as good or better than any other match. It was like a great little piece of business on a very bad show, but it was like really good.
Yeah, it was not a good show, man. Madison Rayne against Gail Kim for the Knockouts title.
You know what? Talk about the finishing spot real quick in that match.
Oh, is that where they came off? They set up the two chairs and then off the top rope. That was
fruit. They had two chairs like these set up,
right?
Set up to sit and facing each other, and they suplexed and. They kind of missed one of them, but I mean, it had to hurt.
It had to hurt like a motherfucker. Yeah. I mean, the way that they had the chairs set up, there was a little space in between them, so that you knew if you went right through the middle, the chairs would automatically
dent the ass part of the chair on both sides, but you're back.
What are you gonna do? You're gonna set them up face to face? I mean, that's gonna kill you, man. That's gonna break your back. It's a broken back,
or a
for
broken back, either one. Yeah.
But it was a cool looking spot to finish the match.
Great match.
We had Madison Rayne and Gail Kim. Madison Rayne just had a baby. I know Taryn Terrell had a baby, but Madison Rayne before that, I believe had a baby as well. The Knockouts, I mean, listen, if you were to compare the Divas against the Knockouts, TNA Knockouts are way better. I mean, but it was it was a decent.
I've read a lot of feedback, and people were saying the match wasn't good, this and that, and I'm looking at it
good for the women, bro.
Yeah, exactly. On a lesser scale, less expectations because they're Divas, Knockouts, whatever.
Right.
Even though we know Gail Kim can do some great shit sometimes.
Right.
I don't know. Is Madison Rayne known as a good worker?
Madison Rayne's a pretty good worker.
Okay, because I didn't know her reputation, but I've known Gail Kim for years. And I'm like, she can do some great shit with the right person. Yeah. And man, you'll never see a WWE Divas match of that level.
No.
Like they were doing some crazy shit. And the one
Taryn Terrell's made a name for himself with that ladder match against Gail Kim.
That's right. I remember hearing about that. I never saw it though.
Great match. Was it great match.
The one spot that made me laugh in that match. There's a spot where you can't see my legs. I forget who it was. Let's say it was Madison Rayne. Gets Gail Kim's head between her legs and then starts humping the cage. So every time she humps and thrusts, Gail Kim's face.
Her face is going into the cage. Yeah, that was
She's
cool.
just humping and humping. I'm like, yo, that's fucking that's cool, man. That's funny shit right there.
All right, we had Magnus and Samoa Joe for the TNA World Heavyweight title. I gotta be honest with you, man.
I didn't want to feed back to this one either.
I thought going in, Samoa Joe was going to win the title here, man.
I almost wrote on Facebook. I see a title change.
Samoa Joe is known right now in TNA as one of the locker room leaders. Exactly. I thought they were going to give him the belt, and they may give him the belt.
They still could.
They could do it on Impact. They could do a rematch
in there. Oh, spoiler alert!
Try to pop a rating.
The thing about the spoilers, they could. Well, no, I was spoiling the outcome of the match we're breaking out because Abyss got involved. But I was gonna say the feedback I read, a lot of people said they didn't like that. What the fuck was that?
I don't know. I hope Reggie's alive.
I get nervous every time I hear noises too because of how old he is. That sounded like anger, not
Yeah, that was.
But anyways, no, the Joe Magnus. I was reading the feedback and everybody was kind of like, it wasn't all that good. I thought it was fucking great up until the finish.
It was up until the finish.
But I love all Joe's stuff. He's got that real hard hitting MMA style. You know, his submissions, you buy, you believe him.
Right.
He does fuck, how many people do you
What do you think about Abyss coming back in this? Out of nowhere?
I didn't know he had been gone. Like, I don't watch TNA enough to know that, like, oh, this is the return of Abyss. Like, the last TNA show I saw was...
No, he's been back. Abyss has been back, man. They're doing the multi-gimmick, though, with Joseph Park.
I thought that was done.
They've still been doing it.
The last thing I had seen was Eric Young was teaming with Joseph Park, and the Monster came back, and the only guy that the Monster would be nice to was Eric Young. Like, that was the last time I saw any of that.
Oh, that's what happened backstage too with Eric Young. Remember the backstage segment that they did at Lockdown where they were telling Eric Young, hey, listen, dude, he's not good. He doesn't like you. He doesn't consider you a friend. This is Abyss. Blah, blah, blah.
I didn't catch it. I know I wrote about it, but I had to rewrite somebody else's version.
He was screaming at him backstage. You know,
I missed one segment. Either I was getting some food or some beers or taking a piss or something. I missed it. Yeah.
And then let's get to the main event, dude. We had basically Abyss came out of nowhere
under the ring like the Undertaker did in the Diesel Bret Hart match back in the day. Yeah.
Lethal Lockdown. It was MVP and the Wolves and Willow. Jeff Hardy wound up returning. They would bring him out every 2 minutes or something like that. Yeah. They would come out in intervals. Once everybody was out there, the cage
version of War Games.
Pretty much,
or the Elimination Chamber, whatever.
All the weapons were used, and then at the end, Bully Ray or Dixie Carter comes out on stage and says, "I've got my insurance policy." Out comes Bully Ray. Bully Ray comes down there. Everybody's got the weapons in the ring, and Bully Ray does a babyface turn and basically says,
"Yeah." He gets in front of Bobby Roode was about to do something with a table. And Bully Ray stood in front of him, wouldn't let him move, and then next thing you know, he puts him through the table.
Everybody's saying, "What are you doing?" You know what I mean? Stuff like that.
Kind of a letdown too, because the build-up was New York insurance policy, and if anybody knows anything about wrestling, you're thinking somebody from WWE.
Pretty much.
But all right, Bully Ray's from New York, but you're thinking New York, you're thinking WWE.
Right. So Bully Ray, basically, after it was over, the winners of the match, MVP gets it was control of TNA, and then they changed it to control of wrestling operations, like that, I believe, something like that.
And the part that, or I guess his 10%, because didn't Bobby Roode get 10% of the company before all this from Dixie or some shit?
No, Roode was supposed to, if he was the winner of the match, he would get full control or something like that.
Before the match, he had bought 10%, or Dixie gave him 10%. It was like very confusing.
But that's all taken away now.
That's what I was wondering. Like, all right, does MVP have the 90% Dixie had, or did Bobby Roode put up his 10% too?
The show goes off the air with MVP saying, "See you on Thursday, Dixie," or something like that. Dixie's freaking out. I lost control of my company, and MVP's, blah, blah, blah.
Just over, like, you wrote great, what was it?
It was overbooked.
That was the one Raw you wrote that about, right? No, that was TNA.
It was TNA.
Was it TNA?
Way overbooked, man.
There was a lot of that shit.
There were so many matches where things were like, just do the match, have a winner. Don't try to do all this crazy shit where this guy runs down, this guy comes up from under the ring, Dixie Carter's out there, this guy's coming out. It's like, yo,
I wrote on Facebook, down. It's KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. That's all you gotta do.
Simple. Stupid.
Keep it simple, stupid.
Right. No doubt.
You know what I mean? Like, that's all you gotta do is keep shit simple and it's enjoyable. When you try and get clever and be like, let's make a Godfather-like fucking storyline to where you have to rewatch it a few times to really grasp how unique and clever it was. or be like Seinfeld, where like every joke's like, "Ooh, that's very clever," as opposed to just, "Ha, that's funny, he fell down."
Right.
You know, just fall down and have people laugh that way. Don't try and.
It was just there were so many matches throughout the night that were overbooked, man. It was one thing after another. Way too much Dixie Carter, man. Dixie, especially on Impact. You haven't seen Impact, dude.
I won't watch it.
Dixie is in like every single segment.
Until I'm paid to have to watch it, there's no way I'm watching Impact.
Yeah. All right, get to our live chat room, WZROnline.com /chat, WZROnline.com /chat. We got lots and lots of people in there tonight. That was TNA Lockdown from this past Sunday night. In the chat room, we're looking at the chat right now. Give us a school letter grade. What do you guys think? A, B, C, D, F, D, E, F,
I'll go
G. D?
Yeah.
Oh, man. That's kind of harsh, man.
I'll go D.
There were some good matches on there. We just write it down.
Gunner Storm was good.
Samoa Joe Magnus
was good, but it ruined
the opening with
the finish ruined Samoa Joe and Magnus. I thought opening was decent opener. You expect a good opener. So
Bobby Lashley came back.
So what?
C-, bro. I'll go with C-.
See what they got.
I'll go with C-.
Delay, so.
What do you guys think in the chat room? Let us know A, B, C, D, F. Let us know TNA Lockdown from this past Sunday night.
Why did they skip E when they did school letter grades? Why did they do that?
I've always wondered that, right? Well,
A, B, C,
means
D, F. Failure is
okay,
F.
failure is A is excelling.
There's nothing.
Excelling?
No.
B is... no, there's not.
There is no name. Yeah, F's failing, but that's just because you're failing. You know, it doesn't have anything to do with the letter F, but...
You could do
Why
E.
would they skip E?
I don't know. That's weird, right?
I remember when you were really young in
F
school.
sounds better. You got it.
When you were really young in school, they'd have letters too. Like there was, I forget them. Like one was like a U. Like if you were, I can't even remember. There was like letters that would go with the grades for your behavior.
Right.
Like there was behavior grades on top of your performance grades.
Right.
What the fuck is all the?
I know what's going on. You know what?
Be a huge
our Wi-Fi might be down or something.
I just think there's a huge delay.
Obama is hacking WZR. We're still up, right?
I don't know.
We're still up on here. I believe
that's
we're up.
what the noise was. Their internet exploded. Something happened.
Are we off air?
I don't know.
Really?
Everybody says back on. It's back. So I don't.
Oh no! We look like we're up here.
Something
it seems
was down
like
there, yeah.
it seems like everything's good to go on our end.
Seinfeld reference. So they're way behind. That was about 3 minutes ago.
Seinfeld, right? Oh, you know what
there
it
they
is?
Come. Here we go.
You know what it is? Because we had the issue at the start with the Wi-Fi, so they're way behind tonight. You're
but
right.
Then what is all that? They're back now stuff mean?
I don't know. We'll check it during the break. We're gonna take a commercial break here.
C minus, C plus, C minus, Q, Z, E. They're being funny now. Yeah.
All right. No doubt. Well, let us know. We'll come talk to you guys during the commercial break when I go into my other computer and we'll try to figure it out here.
Somebody said, "Hi, you call yourself a wrestling reporter, Boone?"
Oh no.
No, I don't. No, I don't.
All right, Monday Night Raw from last night. This was a pretty good fucking show, man.
That was a great show.
Going into WrestleMania, right? This is pretty good. Let's.
It was last week's without expecting CM Punk, so you could just sit down and enjoy it.
Right.
You're not waiting every minute. Oh, CM Punk, CM Punk, CM Punk. Crowd. You're just like, this is a wrestling show. And it was good. Right.
We'll do the opening segment and then we'll kick it to a commercial break. We'll come back. We'll finish up Monday Night Raw.
Long opening segment though.
It was a long opening segment. Who came out? Did Cena open the show? Hogan opened the show, right? Hogan opens the show, and he's got a big WrestleMania announcement. He's talking about it's great to be back in WWE, brother Jack. Dude.
Yes.
It's great to be back in WWE. The WWE Network's launched. WrestleMania's coming up, and he's got a big...
I've been watching all my old stuff. My match versus Ron. Oh, yeah, Macho Man.
It's all on the network.
Been watching against that jacked up guy, Freak, the Ultimate Warrior. I've been watching Andre the Giant. And while I was watching all this, I came up with a historic, groundbreaking idea, brother.
I got an idea, brother.
And
that idea is at WrestleMania 3 when I slammed Andre the Giant at WrestleMania 3, brother.
Dude.
You know, that was one of the highlights of my career.
Jack.
And I'm thinking that we can do an Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal at WrestleMania 30. A battle royal, a memorial battle royal at WrestleMania 30.
Andre the Giant Memorial
Battle Royal. Try that for a headline title.
Yeah.
It's going to have to be shortened to Andre Battle Royal or something.
Well, yeah, when we get like, there's new participants announced, like, how do you fit that?
I know.
Usually there's another subject you write about, so you have to put both in the headline. But that's a fucking headline in itself.
So out comes John Cena, right? Super Cena. Gotta put him in there with Hogan, two biggest names.
No longer selling the very bad injury that
we told you
it was bullshit.
He's great this week, right? So Cena comes out, and it's great to see. You've got Cena in his era, Hogan in his era, the biggest names. Yeah. Cena, it's great to see Hulk Hogan back in WWE.
Cena was marking out a little bit. Like, he really enjoyed being out there with Hogan.
He loved it.
Especially when they did the posing after the match.
So, Cena's out there, and he says, you know what, dude? I love this idea of Andre, count me in. And then...
Memphis. We're here.
Boom, we're here. And Bray Wyatt comes out, right?
Yo, that's going to suck with the band playing that live.
I know.
It's not going to be as cool, I guarantee you.
I think it'll still be cool.
Anytime they do live,
they'll shut the lights out in the arena.
Anytime they
Everyone will have the lighters up in the audience.
Anytime they do live performances, I don't like. Like Undertaker came out to Limp Bizkit doing Rolling Live.
Yeah.
And it wasn't as good.
You don't like it?
When
I like that.
Triple H came out to Motorhead, it wasn't as good. It doesn't sound as good. You know what I mean? You know how rare it is for a band to sound as good as the record in person?
I know.
Very rare.
I know.
Unless you're Bruce Springsteen.
So Bray Wyatt comes out to the ring, right?
What's your point?
I wish we could shut the lights out and be like, we'll be back right after this, and then walk out. So anyways, Bray Wyatt comes to the ring. And we're going to talk about what happened. Not that you already didn't see it last night.
Yes. Big cliffhanger. We're going to tell you what you already saw.
Cliffhanger. What happened when Bray Wyatt came out on Raw last night? We're going to tell you when we come back from the commercial break. We're going to finish up Monday Night Raw. We're doing rapid fire as well. Tell them how they can submit
rapid fire. It's very simple. You go to Facebook.com/ Ryan Clark WZR. I said that's Facebook.com/ Ryan Clark WZR. Once you get there, his top post will say questions and comments for the rapid fire. You just submit your questions, you submit your comments. We'll get to as many as we can in a rapid style fashion. You're listening to WZR TV with myself and this sexy son of a bitch, Ryan Clark. We'll be back right after this. Hey, Bex, I'll bitch.
You go get it there.
It's on fire.
It may be on fire.
There are 3 fire trucks, I believe.
There's a lot of fire trucks right outside
that window. Yeah.
And ambulances and things like that. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff.
It's a mess. And it's not somebody else's apartment. It's our building.
There's something going on out here. Yeah. Hopefully our building...
Maybe the gay guys started a fire.
Maybe that's what it was. Yeah. Maybe the one dude got pissed off and said, I'm burning the motherfucking place down.
I like this Russian fag on fire while he's sleeping. Or gay guy, I'm sorry. Forgot we had a camera running.
But yeah, it's there's a lot of fire trucks out there. So hopefully we don't get evacuated and have to go somewhere tonight.
That would suck.
That wouldn't be good if we have to cancel the show and go out again.
I don't care about the show. I don't want to... I gotta come back and do spoilers and...
it's gonna be a long night.
Say that.
So anyway, listen. What we're gonna do here, I just put the... Did I put the rapid fire up?
I asked you to before I went and grabbed beers.
I had it
I'm getting it now.
Did we do rapid fire? I think we did.
Did you do it?
Well, I was supposed to. Did I put it up?
I don't know how you don't know.
I put it up.
Alright.
I put it up. Alright, so rapid fire is up at Facebook.com/Ryan Clark WZR. Facebook.com/Ryan Clark WZR.
Did we ever find out? I'm sorry to interrupt. Did we ever find out? Because I heard last week I interrupt you a lot. I was pretty drunk last week.
You do it all the time, but that's alright.
Kind of close to drunk this week. So do you, motherfucker. I don't want to. But did we ever find out?
You guys see that shit before we walked out of here too, with the little slap in the face? He told me he was gonna get. He told me he was gonna. You heard that though, because I went in there, right?
Yeah.
You went out to go grab some beers or something like that out there.
In here for us. Yeah.
Okay. I went in there, and the stream was on kind of delay, right?
I was gonna ask real quick. Did we find out during the break if we really?
It only cut out 2 or 3 times.
Only.
And it was very briefly, but they say it's YouTube.
Oh, for fuck's sake! Somebody says, "Ooh, it's back." That return, as do I. Oh my God, he's back.
And we're back. We're just coming back because they're on a 3-minute delay. We're back. They don't like us or something tonight. But anyways, so I went in there, and we're on like a 2 or 3 minute delay, so I was able to see going into the commercial break. And as we were going to the break, I mean, there was a There was a smacking sound.
I know how to make it sound good when I hit somebody.
Oh,
with chops, right. I swear to God. And I was being.
Well, let me make it sound good on your face real quick.
No, you started it. You got paid back. What are you even bad
about?
I
just want to show you though that I
got hit first for no reason.
I can make it sound.
You got hit for a reason. No, but like with pro wrestling, I'd be decent at certain parts. Like I could pull punches real good. I could hit somebody a lot with punches, and it would look great. But the guy getting hit wouldn't be heard. Chops. If I hit somebody with a chop, it sounds real fucking loud.
That's another thing. We got to go back to TNA Lockdown for a second, okay? Ken Anderson. A lot of people
you hit me again, by the way, and I'm going to hit you real hard.
We're even.
We're even for the show. Usually when I do a wrap-up, I try and put some energy into it, and I look retarded.
We're even.
Because I'll be like, you know what I'm talking about?
No. We're completely even.
All right.
But Ken Anderson, a lot of people say that he is green in the ring. So I'm watching his match, right?
You heard Orton.
And as he was hitting, there was a point during the match where he was hitting the kicks. And I'm watching because you know when somebody hits a kick, right? When somebody goes, all right, they go for a kick and they slap their leg. So it's kick, slap leg, kick,
so it
slap leg.
Sound, yeah.
So it makes that smacking sound. That's why when you guys are watching wrestling matches and Shawn Michaels, you know,
Teresa says,
"Come smack my ass."
So he gets jealous when girls say nice stuff about me. What's wrong with Teresa? What's wrong?
So anyways, when Shawn Michaels, you know, hits that super kick and you hear that whap, right?
He smacks the leg that he kicks with, I think, though.
I think he does.
Weird. Yeah,
I think he
doesn't smack the down leg.
But
he smacks the leg that goes up while it's going up.
It's oftentimes with the punches, too. You'll hear a punch.
They stomp when they punch.
It's a stomp when they punch, and then it's a slap of the leg.
Sound, yeah.
Right. So that's what happened. But Ken Anderson, you could clearly see it on camera, where a lot of guys, you know, experienced veteran type guys, where you don't see that slap of the leg, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't come across. They camouflage it really well. So, but it was Ken Anderson. I'm watching him. I'm like, man, you are making this clearly obvious. God, I love you, Clark and Boone. No doubt,
bro.
Hey, I'm a pimp. I'm a pimp. Hey, Teresa, what up? Speaking of our chat room, get to our live chat room, WZROnline.com /chat, WZROnline.com/chat. Get in there, lots and lots of people in there, as always, tonight. Alright, let's,
I'm disappointed at how many people's in there, to be honest with you.
There's 50 some odd people in there tonight.
There's some people that aren't there that are normally there. Where the fuck are they at?
Huh?
Watching main event. Scumbags.
What are you talking about?
Main event's an hour, right? Not 2 hours.
Main event's over.
So where the hell are they? They should have came back by now.
Anyways, let's get back to Monday Night Raw. Here we go. Alright, so Bray Wyatt winds up coming out here, right?
Yes.
John Cena, Hulk Hogan in the ring. Bray Wyatt comes out. Memphis.
We're here.
Memphis, we're here. They did the same thing at WWE's Madison Square Garden house show in New York City on Saturday night. I guess they're kind of adding
interesting if you ask me, because that's basically a cheap pop. And they're heels.
It is. Yeah, but it seems like, I mean, the crowd has kind of taken after the Wyatt family.
But they're heels. They're supposed to be heels. And they're doing stuff that's going to get them cheered.
It's a good point. It's a good point. So Bray comes out and he basically, Cena, who issued the challenge right here?
Cena did.
Cena issued the challenge.
Because Bray did a promo later in the show accepting, remember?
Right. That's who accepted later in the show. All right.
So Cena cut the challenge, or gave the challenge.
So he says he went. He was cool up until this point, and then he went like all gangster on us, like he normally does, right?
And making jokes.
Right.
That's what you want for the build-up of a main event at WrestleMania, one of the main events, where the guy you're fighting is the most serious character that there could possibly be. Oh, hey, knock knock, who's there?
Right. And who used to sing Margaritaville when they were down in Memphis?
Who used to one time, but yes.
Didn't they do, was it Rock and Austin where they were face to face?
They both sang it together, and then as soon as it was over, The Rock said, just so you know, The Rock will never, ever forget, and then he rock bottom.
Rock bottom.
Yeah.
No doubt. Alright, so the challenge has been issued by John Cena to Bray Wyatt, and the segment kind of ended there. And then later in the night, like you said, Bray Wyatt came and
accepted the challenge backstage. Yeah.
Alright.
He was singing too. The guy, Luke Harper, was whistling the theme, and then he started singing it at the end of his promo, which was time is on my
That's
side.
what I heard. Right.
Reminded me of that movie Fallen with Denzel Washington. Fucking great movie, by the way.
So then we go to a commercial break, and then was there a match in between here, or did we come back and Triple H and Stephanie McMahon came out?
There was a match. They come back from commercial. As soon as they went to commercial...
It was Cena and Harper, you're right.
Yeah, the Wyatt family was approaching the ring as we went to commercial. Mm-hmm. We come back to commercial, and the match is already in progress. Cena and Rowan. It was announced as Cena Harper, and then they switched it right before the show went on the air for whatever reason. Did we ever find out why they switched it?
We don't know. I think it's just a case of late creative changes, man. They happen all
Harper's
the
better
time.
Worker. Like, I could see, like, just for example, it's like it was going to be Cena Rowan, and they said, no, let's do Cena Harper. Harper's a better worker. It would be a better match.
Right.
But they switched it the other way around, so I can't think of why would they switch. Like, why would they change it? Like, why would they care? Like, what's the difference, first of all?
Didn't make
They're both the same. The match, when we saw it get played out, there was no real point to anything. So why, like, no, not Rowan, Harper. Or not Harper, Rowan. Like,
right.
Why go out of your way to switch it? I don't know.
Yeah, it was weird, dude. It was definitely, a late creative change.
Maybe they didn't want Harper to take the job. Maybe they're like, let's give the guy that we don't have plans for when they
right. Could have been something like that. But, I mean, they announced it on .com, right? Yeah. Earlier in the afternoon. Right. Alright, so Triple H and Stephanie McMahon came out after that match between Cena
after the match,
Harper.
Cena and Hogan did the big pose off, which was like the whole point of all of that. And
Hogan was in the corner of Cena throughout the match.
Jimmy Hart had made the comment, I think it was on Backstage Pass, maybe even on Twitter, I don't know, that Hogan's so over that he can get Cena cheered by the fans.
Did Jimmy Hart appear on that?
I don't know. I just remember hearing that Jimmy Hart said that Hulk Hogan's so over that the fans cheer John Cena just because he's standing next to him doing the same poses and stuff.
I put this up on my Facebook.
I'm sorry, real quick.
Jimmy Hart is everywhere. No. You go.
That Hogan, when he does his big poses now, I don't know. Did you watch the Hogan era as a kid? I did.
Right.
He would do three things. He would do three poses. He would start by doing this one, and then he would do this,
right,
and then finish by doing a couple revs up and then roar.
Okay.
He don't do that.
Get into it.
He don't do this one no more.
He don't do it, huh?
No, he just does this, and that's it.
That's it?
Why get rid of this one? That's the most fucking... Well, this is probably the most famous one, but this one's like a big deal.
I don't know.
I just thought that was interesting. Like,
Can we get that one more with the facial reaction? Give me the facial...
Like, he would do it for fucking, like, for 30 years now, and now he's going to change it? Like, what the fuck? Why? Maybe it hurts him to do that. It hurts his back or something.
Right? He's an old man, man.
Yeah, he's beat up like a motherfucker, yeah.
So, Triple H and Stephanie McMahon come out.
I think he's throwing some punches at Mania, though.
Probably.
We had heard he couldn't even do that. I think he's throwing some punches. Jim Ross seems damn sure about it. Every time Jim Ross mentions it, he's like, yo, somebody's running into Hogan's fist, or Hogan's throwing some punches.
Somebody will be involved with Hogan. It won't be a full match or anything like that, but somebody's going to take
And it was interesting, because the original idea,
it's not going to be a leg drop either. He can't do a leg drop.
He'll never throw another leg drop for the rest of his life. But no, it was interesting. You found your lighter? It was interesting.
No, I borrowed it.
It was interesting watching that segment last night, knowing that the original plan, or one of the original things talked about, was Cena Hogan versus the Wyatt family.
It was.
So they kind of got to play out their little thing there without actually building towards that match.
I think they should do something between the Real Americans and Hulk Hogan, man. The Real Americans.
You never put that together until I brought that up.
I did too. I've been saying it for weeks.
What are you talking about? I brought it up last week. It's on the air. There's documented archive proof. You said, I never thought of that.
If you can't hear the name Real Americans and then put it with Hulk Hogan, this guy.
Watch the archive from last week. I bring it up and you say, you know what? I never thought of that. That's right.
I didn't say I never thought of it. I said that would be a great idea.
You said, I never thought of that. Real Americans.
Don't try to act like you came to me. Get out of here, man. If you don't put the name
It's on
Real
the air.
Americans.
You can go watch the show.
But Real Americans and Hulk Hogan?
Yeah.
Come on, bro.
You never put that together.
Of course I put it together.
That's the channel.
You're singing last week for the first time.
On the air. You said, I never thought of that.
I mentioned it on Facebook. I mentioned it on Facebook like a month ago. And you're saying last week? I gotta go back like a month.
You gotta watch it. You don't need to go back to anything except.
No. I gotta go back like a month on my Facebook page.
YouTube.com/WZR archive. I think it is.
Oh my God! It's on my Facebook page.
Look at this. Brian, Boone is right. Boone's right, man. I remembered that, Clark. Yep, Boone is right.
It's the same guy. It's the same guy.
No.
Go back a month ago.
John Morgan.
For you people that
Krieger,
say
Boone's right.
I can go back a month ago on my
right.
Facebook page, and I mentioned this about a month ago. You're telling me that last week I mentioned it? You're out of your fucking mind, man. I'm gonna go back.
Yo, I was right, you were wrong. I want you to say it.
I'm going to go back on my Facebook page.
Right.
I'm going to go back on my... And all these people in the chat room
this guy's
are going to be the dumbest fucks.
He gave you a great excuse. John Morgan.
Wow.
You were drunk last week. You forgot.
Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go back a month on my Facebook, and I got to go through an awful lot of links and an awful lot of posts. But about a month ago on my Facebook page, I put up the Real Americans and Hulk Hogan are going to do something.
Nice when I said
I think I even put an article up. I think I even put an article up on the websites that said that there was talk of possibly doing something. Wait a minute.
Find any of this.
Wait a minute.
I welcome you to find any of this.
Wait a minute.
And first of all, I'm not
saying...
saying...
for me while I can do a Google search real quick.
I'm not saying that you never wrote about it, but, you know...
Well, that's what I'm going to find right now.
Listen, if you
I wrote about it. So if I wrote about it, I clearly knew about it.
Exactly.
Okay.
But I never saw any of these posts. I don't know about any of this. For all I know, they don't exist. I'm not saying they don't, because I don't know what you wrote. But I do know that on the air last week, on this show, in these same chairs, in front of this same camera, I brought the thing up. Oh, you ever thought that it's maybe a subtle shot, the whole Real American stable at Hogan, because the Real American, and then I Am a Real American, Hogan's theme song, and they always say, when Zeb Coulter was telling Cesaro and Swagger who were fighting, that's your brother, shake his hand. I was like, maybe that's a shot at Hogan, the Real American brother, all this and that, and you said, you know what, I never thought of that, it's a good point, blah, blah. And now he's claiming that he knew all along.
So back on February 24th, 2014, which is 2 or 3 weeks ago.
I want you to read it word for word, because that title doesn't explain shit.
Ryan Clark wrote a post that said there was talk coming out of the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view last night that the reason they had the Real American tag team member Jack Swagger do a big boot and leg drop during his match is because they are planning to do something between Swagger and Hogan.
How's that the same as what I just
said?
How's
it the same? I'm talking about the Real American.
No, you're talking about him doing a fucking big boot and leg drop.
I just proved it to you live on it.
Wow.
Wait a minute.
You're out of your fucking mind.
Wait a minute.
He does a big boot and a leg drop, which is Hogan's finish, and they're going to do a match, and that's the seeds to plan towards that match. That's the same as me saying that the Real Americans is a rib to Hogan because of the name Real Americans, and because of Zeb Coulter saying he's your brother.
I said to you,
it's completely different.
I just said to you,
you're crazy.
I said to you a couple of minutes ago.
Fucking mind.
Wait a minute.
Finish your speech.
I said to you a couple of minutes ago, I said if you don't put 2 and 2 together, Hulk Hogan and the Real Americans, if you don't put 2 and 2 together...
What does that have to do with a big boot and a leg drop?
What I'm saying is right here, and I have it in quotes, they had Real American tag team member Jack Swagger. In quotes, Real American tag team member Jack Swagger do a big boot and a leg drop. Possibly doing a feud with Hulk Hogan. Real American, in quotes, Hulk Hogan. So you've got Real American, Jack Swagger, Real American, Hulk Hogan. Real Americans, you put 2 and 2 together, that's what we're talking about. Real American feud between Hulk Hogan, the Real American, Jack Swagger, Cesaro, the Real American. That's what we're talking about.
I have a feel for things like, alright, there's a certain point where this was probably entertaining. Listen to him fight, and this is fun, blah, blah. It's probably played out and old by now, so I'm not going to keep arguing, but that doesn't prove anything. You're a fucking retard. Go watch the archive last week, and you say,
WZR Army, did I just prove it? Can you let me know in the chat room? We're talking about the Real American Jack Swagger, the Real American Hulk Hogan, Real Americans, you put 2 and 2 together, a feud between Hogan and Swagger, the reports on the websites, put it up a couple of weeks ago, Real American, Hogan, Swagger.
There's stuff I could say about your reports, by the way, of why you might have had that quote. I won't go into that, though, because you'd be very angry, but that doesn't prove anything, and what's next on Raw? What happened after that?
Let's get back to Raw, but can you please, in the chat room? Thank you. Anyways, let's get back to Monday Night Raw. Can you admit,
no.
just give me a little answer. I just pulled up the report.
All I said was, you said last week, I never thought of that. Good point. That's on video. I don't need to say, I put a quote around something in an article 10 years ago because he did a big boot and a leg drop. It has nothing to do with anything.
Okay, let me bring this up. Maybe
video proof of you saying, I never thought of that. So you were lying then. Are you denying that you said that on the air?
Last week I will have to go back and watch the archive. But I did drink a couple of beers last week, so there's a possibility that. But I had it up on the websites. I gave you
the best excuse. You should have took it. I said maybe you were just trying to be nice and put me over as being like a guy that figured something out. Like, you know what? I never thought of that. But basically just saying, Boone, good job. You figured something out that nobody's thought of. Maybe you were just putting me over for that, but you clearly said
I ignore her in the chat. Hey, Teresa.
Oh, God. Girls say they want to fucking shove their face in my crotch, and I say, that's nice.
I am a real American. Fight for your right. Mm-hmm. Alright, anyways.
You keep talking, I'm going to give you a big boot and a leg drop.
Yeah, you have nobody.
Bottom line. That boot said so. Yes.
Alright, let's get back to Monday Night Raw. Here we go. Let's see if I can pull it up. Alright, so Stephanie and Triple H come out, right? They cut this promo. They want an apology.
Stephanie cut the promo. Triple H never spoke during that one.
Stephanie got crazy later in the night.
She stayed normal here, and she looked real goddamn good. And I gotta say, just personally, I think she's hot as fuck when she gets going.
Makeup.
When she gets going with all that, I own you, my family made you what you are. There's just something about her getting all worked up like that I think's hot as fuck. And she's cute as shit.
Yeah, but last night she went over. I mean, during the Occupy Raw thing, man, she was a screecher, right? Alright, let's skip through. We'll do the
basically the gist was she said Daniel Bryan has to apologize.
Apologize.
Yes.
Right. Let's see.
There was what he did later. Not only did he not apologize, he went completely the other way and
completely the other way. Let's see. There was a backstage segment. It was Kane. He reprimanded the Shield for their,
great.
The problem.
While I was sitting there watching it, I'm like, why? They should never put Roman Reigns in a situation where he's standing there getting yelled at and not doing nothing about it. So while I'm watching it, I'm like, this is bad. But they had the final thing because Kane referenced that you guys need to awaken your inner demon, and get back to the prominence that the Shield used to be. Blah 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 blah. But he said that word demon, and everybody knows Kane used to be the demon. Blah 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 blah. So Reigns gets right in his face and says, "Listen, not only will we awaken our demon, we'll go through any demon that gets in our way." Something to that effect. Basically threatening, you get in our way, we'll fuck you up.
What did you think about Dean Ambrose is on one side, Roman Reigns is on the other side, and Seth Rollins?
We went through this on a Raw chat. I didn't think anything of this.
Yeah, we talked about it last night, but for the people listening tonight, I think Seth Rollins, who, when... It's my accent. But, when...
Did you put quotes around Rollins? Is that what?
I put quotes around real American motherfucker.
Okay.
But when the Shield first came in, and we've been talking about it for a couple of months now, where it seems like Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose are going to be the two guys out of the Shield.
Yeah, the breakout stars.
Seth Rollins, or Rollins, as you like to say, or
as everybody likes including his mom that named him, like to say, well, even though that's not his name.
It's Tyler Black, but that's all right.
Is that his real name?
I don't even know if his name's Tyler Black.
Yeah, I know that's what he used to be called.
I
never knew he was like the NXT champ until Arrival. They were showing the history. Like, he was the guy for a bit.
He was the guy. But it seems like to me, like last night on Raw, they had Seth doing all the talking. He was the main
guy. That on the Raw chat.
Well, explain it to these people.
Well, it was because I thought you were trying to speed through stuff, so I didn't want to get into the whole thing.
I'm trying.
Yeah, basically, Ambrose had to be positioned as the heel who would throw in a snarky comment here and there, and that's a heel thing to do. Reigns isn't a great talker. We don't want to expose him and have him say too much and then have a great promo. God, I wish your sister would get back in here so he'd shut up. But the kid,
she's in here, man.
Is she back?
Everybody's in here.
Jesus Christ.
I know.
So Reigns is being protected, basically. Long story short, Reigns is being protected. Ambrose is throwing out dickhead comments, so that makes him a heel. Reigns is the protected babyface. We're not exposing the fact that we can't talk. But there was a lot that they needed to say, so Rollins is the guy that's got to say.
He was the guy last night on Raw.
And the other thing, since we talked about stuff that we talked about in the chat that we didn't bring up on here, I thought it was very interesting. Not very interesting. It was interesting. And I'm nitpicking. That Hogan had this big announcement all week, remember? And that he didn't make the announcement until Raw started. And yet the very next match, there's a guy doing a pre-taped. He's standing in the ring. It's Ryback.
The real American Hulk Hogan.
The real American Hulk Hogan. And Ryback and Curtis Axel are in the ring. They're getting ready to do a tag team match. And this segment just happened where he just announced that they're going to do this Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Ryback pre-tape. Oh, we spoke to Ryback earlier in the evening. Here's what he had to say. And they do the split screen. Ryback comes up. I'm going to be in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Like, wait, how did you...
Well, and there were a couple of those. There were a couple of those throughout the night.
But that one was right after. How did you enter a match that wasn't even announced until 2 minutes ago? Like, it's just... I'm nitpicking, but logistically speaking...
Nobody had any idea that this match was going to happen at WrestleMania, and then they aired these video packets, like Boone says, throughout the night, where these guys are like, well, I'm in the match, and I said to you...
You get the impression when you watch those pre-taped interviews that they're done before the show.
Right, but I said to you, the casual fan is probably watching thinking that these promos or these, vignettes, whatever you want to call them, were taped minutes before their match.
But like I said, even through that logic, if we're going with what that is that's what they think.
Right.
That means the announcement was made.
Right.
They ran up and put Ryback in front of a backdrop because it's perfectly fucking backdrop.
Right.
You're taking a school picture for your yearbook. Right. And what do you think? Oh, I'm going to be in the match, blah, blah, blah. All right, hurry up, go to the ring. Your match is next. All right, you know what I mean? Like, that one was right after they fucking made the announcement.
Right. What do you think of The Undertaker on Raw? Taker comes out, and as soon as he gets to the ring, Paul Heyman is basically...
Yeah, they protected Taker in the sense of not having him say too much, keep him very mysterious.
I like that, though. That's what you want to do.
And Paul Heyman's a great talker, and I thought what he did was brilliant. He put the streak into perspective, and it's such an obvious thing.
He really did.
Using the statistics, it's such an obvious thing, because obviously 21-0 speaks for itself. Oh my God, he's won 21 times in a row. WrestleMania, he's never lost.
But he brought up the top names in the business. You're talking about Shawn Michaels.
Let's put this into perspective. Mr. WrestleMania, Shawn Michaels, has only ever won 2 or 3, whatever it was.
2 or 3 in a row. WrestleManias in a row. Triple H, 2 or 3 in a row.
Stone Cold, 3 or 4 in a row. Like these guys. John Cena 4 in a row, whatever it was. He didn't mention Edge. Because Edge had like a fucking streak of 10 going. Like,
did he?
There was a time where he lost to Taker.
Right.
But Edge had a streak going quietly. A lot of them were tag team matches and shit like that.
Right, things like that. Right.
He didn't lose
But he mentioned the top names in
every
WWE.
big thing you can think of. And it makes a fan that's just no storylines and they don't know the behind the scenes or like, yo, goddamn, John Cena, Hulk Hogan, because he mentioned Hogan, Steve Austin, fucking Shawn Michaels, Triple H, all these guys haven't even won more than 5.
I guarantee
and Undertaker's got 21.
The video packages leading up to the actual match between Brock Lesnar and they will reference that promo over and over. That's not the last you guys...
I wonder if that was the creative team that came up with that or Heyman. I mean, I'm sure it was the creative team, but like if that was Heyman, that's just...
Well, they did some research to find out. Obviously, clearly somebody did some research to find out how many wins in a row John Cena's
come up with this, or did the creative team give him that? Either way, he executed it well.
It was awesome.
He's the best.
It was awesome.
He's the best talker.
You knew Taker's ending was, you show up in New Orleans, Louisiana, and you will rest in peace. Right, that whole thing. But
great segment.
It worked.
And they did it early. They did it right at the 9 o'clock hour.
9 o'clock hour, right.
And that was the highest hour of the evening.
It was a tag team match. It was Seth Rollins against Roman Reigns against Cody Rhodes and Goldust. It's a really good match on Raw. Yeah.
Not as good as some of the ones they've had in the past, but it was good.
Right.
They didn't get a lot of time either.
Right. The Divas match for the night was the Bella Twins.
Did you catch his big boot on the ground spot that I was telling you about last week?
Who's big boot?
Roman Reigns. He does that jumping boot to the face, lands on the apron.
No, I remember you telling me about it last week.
Oh man, that spot is so great. It's so great. That and the Superman punch, he's got some stuff that he does. It's just, he's going to be a big fucking star. And like, he doesn't cut promos, but he'll deliver you give him one line, he can deliver.
Yeah, but you know what? You say he's going to be a big star, dude. Remember the match that they had with Roman Reigns and somebody last week on Raw? Not last night, but
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, and they exposed him where he's not the greatest worker in the world, man. When they put him in a tag team match with the other 2 members,
but he was fucking Bray Wyatt.
That's true.
You give him a good main event, solid competitor. CM Punk is not there anymore. Daniel Bryan, whoever. And
the Divas match on the show was the Bella Twins defeated AJ Lee and Tamina. Let's talk about what was the main event of Raw was the tag team match, right?
Real quick,
we're gonna go back to
Sheamus and Christian, best match of the night.
Best match of the night.
And our match last week, even though this is boring chance, it was great last week.
Sheamus' back, bro, the welts on his back, man.
And his arm the week before.
And not only that, dude, right, but even a couple of months ago, I believe it was after a pay-per-view, it might have been Elimination Chamber, the Royal Rumble, one of the two.
He's only back since Rumble, yeah.
Where he had back welts, just like crazy.
That was Chamber, because the great.
Was that that was the Chamber, dude. And then last night on Raw, he had the back welts
again. The week
before
that, the arm.
Week before the arm, dude.
Backstage.
So he's been taking, like you said, dude, he's been taking
some bumps and bruises.
The main event of
finish though, real quick. The bro kick through the bass drum.
Yeah, that was nasty.
That was cool as shit.
That was cool. The main event
I'd be afraid to take it because, like, if you mistime that, your foot could go way through.
Yeah.
Because you got to get through this much of a bass drum, so his foot's got to go kapow.
Right.
If he kicks, it
starts
here as opposed to here. Like, holy shit, that's
gotta hurt. It's a completely different thing, but it's like at Lockdown with James Storm and Gunner, dude, with the chairs, bro. Where one little mistake, and you're like,
Christian took it well too because he turned his head at the last second. So at the worst, it would just be one of instead of breaking
that hurt. You kind of stopped yourself. Pretty
I told
good.
you I can make it sound good. You hit yourself with this part of the hand, and if it's a chop, you hit yourself with the tips.
Do it again,
and it'll.
All right.
There's certain ways to do it, but anyway.
Nice.
Thank you. But, like that again.
You like that?
Yeah, go ahead. So you clap normal and I'll hold my hand up.
Alright.
You're doing the same thing I'm doing.
What am I doing?
Cup your hand a little bit.
Alright, so if I just come around and whack.
Bam.
There it is.
Yeah.
Alright, no doubt. Alright, so the main event, dude, and then we're going to go back to the Daniel Bryan and the whole Occupy.
I was going to say, we didn't even get to that.
We're skipping, we're going to go to the main event.
Big Show was part of the main event. Did you listen to him on Steve Austin's show?
The original plan was for Kane to replace Big Show on Raw. Did you hear that?
I didn't hear that.
It was going to be Daniel Bryan or wait a minute, was it Kane? Yeah, he's going crazy.
Yeah, I don't think they're out there.
No,
I think they're not here screaming. No, for sure.
Alright, let's see. So we had Daniel Bryan and the Big Show against Randy Orton and Dave Batista in there. Kane was going to replace, I believe, Randy Orton. Kane was, we put it up on the website today, man. Kane was going to replace Randy Orton. It was going to be Daniel Bryan and the Big Show against Kane and Dave Batista because the Daniel Bryan Kane thing. You know what I mean, dude? They've been going back and forth. Kane with the Authority, Daniel Bryan, back and forth. And then they wound up having Orton there, and Orton was going to be in a different segment during the night. But they eventually wound up with Daniel Bryan and the Big Show against Randy Orton and Dave Batista.
But back to my question: did you listen to the Big Show on Austin's podcast?
No, I haven't.
One of the greatest shows he's ever done.
Are you serious?
To hear, you don't hear it, and I didn't even put it into perspective. I didn't think about it.
You
don't really hear a lot of Big Show talking out of character. You don't see him in a lot of media interviews. You don't, and if he does quick stuff, you don't see any long shoot interviews, so to speak.
Right.
It was really cool to hear him tell a lot of stories and stuff.
Was it?
Really
Road
cool.
stories.
And you could tell him and
like
Austin are great friends. Like they have a great friendship, and it was really, really, really good.
No shit.
Really good. Cena was too.
So we had Orton gave Bryan a DDT towards the end, and then went for an RKO. But Daniel Bryan countered it, and
I know he tried to roll him up, 1-2, kicked out, and then seconds later hit the running knee. So
Bryan hit the running knee.
Must have been short on time because they quickly went from that to the next.
All right, so let's go back to the whole Daniel Bryan segment. It was Occupy Raw. Here's the problem. I mean, I love the angle. Yeah, hold on.
Now they're getting closer with this shit. Like, come on.
What's going on here? Let's see.
I think he's going to bring him back here and let him scream on camera. So, get ready to turn your speakers down. Usually when he comes back here, he stops crying, but it sounds like he's going fucking apeshit tonight. So, here he comes. Yeah, here we go.
We'll go do it.
Hey, buddy! Look at this guy.
Let's go do a radio show.
Look at this guy.
We're going to try to calm him down real quick.
What's up, bud?
Oh, he's not doing so good.
Look over here. You see this guy?
What do you say, buddy? Is that you up there?
Look at that.
Is that you? Look at that. He said, this is my little nephew Jacob. He's not doing so good tonight. He's crying. Yeah. There's some smiles.
There he is.
There's some smiles.
There he is.
You want to talk some pro wrestling with us?
Here.
Let's talk some pro wrestling. There's Johnny Boy.
There's John Cena.
There's Johnny Boy.
Yeah.
So he's going to sit here and talk some pro wrestling. Alright? We'll have him on here. He's a good looking dude. Right? Look at him on the screen up there.
You can see him closer. He looks just like it's scary. You would think
he
it's
looks like me?
Yeah, you would think it's your
Really?
It's freaky.
Does he look like me?
You and your sister
get him up there
one night.
Look at him. Look at old Jacob up there, huh? He's gonna bring some ratings for the ladies too, right?
Hey, girls love babies.
He'll bring the ratings.
To walk my sister's kid around. That or dogs.
Yeah.
Anything. Oh, he's so cute.
That's what it is.
Oh, your dog is so cute.
The puppies,
anything
right?
like that's a great entree.
The old puppies.
Yeah.
We'll keep the cigarette over there and we'll be good to go. Alright. So anyways, let's get back to the problem I had with the Occupy movement, dude, is Occupy Raw. They did the whole... No, stop it.
I'm joking.
They did... They did the Occupy movement, right? Everybody would go all over cities in the United States. Are you listening?
Punches.
Everybody, he's going to stay here. He's going to do a little radio show with us. So... They did the Occupy movement, right? Where everybody would go from city to city, and they would get into these parks, right?
Occupy is just a fancy word for hijacking.
Hijacking,
right? Like there was the Yes movement, but they didn't want to call it Daniel Bryan hijacked the show, maybe because they don't want fans to encourage, like, oh, if you keep hijacking, watch it turn into an angle, and you can...
Right.
So I think Occupy Raw was the phrase.
Well, everybody would go out, it was Occupy, and they were protesting the government and everything else, and they go and they camp out, and they do all this stuff from city to city all over the world. So, basically, what WWE did, the problem is that it's like months and months after the Occupy movement ended. So they did Occupy Raw last night, and granted, we've been talking about it. We came on here, last week, I believe it was last week or the week before, we came on here and we said that at WrestleMania 30, if Daniel Bryan is not in the main event of WrestleMania 30,
they're going to take it over.
The crowd is going to shit all over that.
They're going to occupy the main event.
So the idea here is, and we had said it, that, Daniel Bryan would defeat Triple H. Hopefully there will be some sort of stipulation added.
I said about 5 weeks ago, I said they should add a stipulation to Daniel Bryan Triple H. If he wins, he gets added to the show. Because that was pretty much the only thing I could think of. Like, how could they get him in the main event and still do Daniel Bryan Triple H?
Right.
That was pretty much the only thing I could think of. So they actually did it.
You add a stipulation to Daniel Bryan and Triple H, and listen, let's be honest. We know that Daniel Bryan's going to defeat Triple H, right? We know that that's going to happen.
You probably won't want to read it out loud, but read that one.
Hey, look. He's bald, just like Clark. Hey! Hey!
They got the same kind of hair. They really are related.
But listen, man. Listen.
He sees himself now.
I know. You see him up there?
Look.
Let me see that. There he is. There he is.
Look at that guy.
There he is.
Look at that guy up there.
But listen, the idea here is we know that Daniel Bryan is going to defeat Triple H. That automatically puts Daniel Bryan in the main event.
Yes.
We know that the crowd would shit all over WrestleMania. And I think WWE realized that within the last... They had to have, man. I mean, the crowd was hijacking Raws and everything else. They knew that they had to put Daniel Bryan in the main event of WrestleMania 30, or it was going to be a disaster. My whole thing is, I mean, listen, Daniel Bryan's probably going to wind up, and it seems obvious, but they should go the obvious route anyways, dude, by having Daniel Bryan defeat Triple H, go on to main event WrestleMania, and then win the title WrestleMania. Then the show goes off the air. Is 80,000 people doing the yes chant at WrestleMania.
No, I just wrote
did they do that? Or
that's what I was going to say. I just wrote a column today for eWrestlingNews.com. Go check it out.
Right.
And I believe it was called I Hope We're Not Being Set Up Again. I think that's what it was called. Something to that effect.
Would they do that at WrestleMania, bro?
Just last week at Raw in Chicago, what did they do? Everybody's expecting CM Punk. Let's do a tease right at the beginning of the show.
Right.
So that the fans are with us through the show. They just enjoy it for what it is. By the time they realize he's not there, it's too late. What are they going to do? Hijack after the cameras go off stuff? Like, who cares?
Right.
Nobody sees that.
Exactly.
Is WrestleMania going to be Daniel Bryan obviously beats Triple H?
Right.
Are they going to do it to where he's in the main event?
We know that.
So
we know that much, right?
So they're not hijacking anything because they're thinking, all right, Bryan's going to be in the main event. He's going to win the title.
He's going to win the title.
So they're going to be with the whole show.
Even the main event. They're going to be with it. If they know Daniel Bryan's
by the time the finish happens, if they go this way and he doesn't win,
they can go off the air.
They can flip out all they want. We're off the air at that point.
And they've only got about 2 minutes. They only got about 2 minutes of the crowd shitting all over it. The crowd's gonna be. The crowd's gonna be with it all through the main event. Then they don't have him win the title, and they go off the air. Well, we got about 2 minutes of the crowd, but do they want to end WrestleMania 30 like that with all the pyro, pyro that goes off and everything else? I think. Listen,
do they want to send people home unhappy? That's the bottom line.
I don't think they're going
to their cars.
It's going to be a night. Bullshit. It's going to be what everybody expects. Daniel Bryan is going to defeat Triple H, go on to main event WrestleMania. He's going to win the WWE title. The fans are going to be chanting yes. The pyro is going to explode on the outside of the building like it always does. WrestleMania is going to go off the air, and everybody's happy. But keep in mind, the people that ordered the WWE pay-per-views, you're talking Royal Rumble, you're talking Elimination Chamber, you're talking TLC back in December, all these pay-per-views, they spent that hard-earned money to see Daniel Bryan win the WWE title, and they got fucked at TLC, they got fucked at SummerSlam, they got effed at Royal Rumble, they got effed at all these pay-per-views, right? They spent all that money, but are they going to forget about all that stuff and say, you know what? We got what we wanted. WrestleMania 30, the biggest show of them all. He defeated Triple H. Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
He defeated Triple H. He defeated... You don't like that? You don't like that?
He doesn't agree?
Yes.
You don't agree?
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes. No. Yes. No.
So, do we? Do you think? I mean, let's be honest. Do you think at WrestleMania 30, do we see Daniel Bryan?
I had a point. I fucking forgot.
Does the show go off the air with Daniel Bryan as WWE champion?
Yeah, I think they do. Oh, that was my point. It was somebody else's point. Somebody else on Facebook had wrote a comment, and I saw, and it was brilliant. They said, "How about this? Daniel Bryan beats Triple H. After the match, Triple H beats the shit out of him so bad, or backstage later, beats the S out of him so bad, Kane attacks him, Triple H attacks him, somebody.
Right.
That he doesn't show up for the main event. Now everybody's going nuts, they're pissed, and then out of nowhere, Bryan heroically makes it down to the ring and jumps in the middle of the match. The pop there would be insane.
Right.
Because people would be thinking, those son of a bitches still screwed us. And then he shows up, and then he somehow wins, even though he got attacked and blah, blah, blah. Like, that pop would be enormous because you would take people from, alright, he's going to be there, to you motherfuckers, to, oh shit, there he is! Whoa, he just won! Like, it would be really great. Whoa! Like that? Whoa! He likes my point. Yes, yes, yes.
He's laughing. Or, how about this? Somebody brought up a good point that Randy Orton still got 2 WWE title belts. So let's say...
What is that?
Let's say that Daniel Bryan wins the title match at WrestleMania. Let's say that they don't, I know that they unified the titles, but let's say that Randy Orton still comes out and says, hey, I'm holding 2 belts. You only got one of them. I got the other one. And then they set up some sort of thing.
Because it's for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. That's the name of both belts, whether it's 2 belts or 1. That's the name of the championship.
That's true.
Now, if they were to say, oh, this match is for the world title or something, then he could be like, hey, we said this match was for the world title, not the WWE World Heavyweight title.
That's what I'm saying.
But Randy Orton set it up that way.
And then set up they still got 4 weeks until WrestleMania.
Yeah, I guess.
You know what I mean?
They're not doing that, though, no.
All right.
But why is he carrying 2 belts around? I have no idea. I think
it's weird, right?
Merchandise.
Probably.
You gotta buy 2 belts if you want to walk around pretending to be the champion now, if you're a kid.
Alright, how about this, man?
This little guy right here and want to walk around being the World Heavyweight Champions. The World Heavyweight Champions.
He's got them rosy red cheeks, but he's on WZR TV. See, calm down.
You can't see me.
What's up, buddy? Ooh.
Well, we got some rapid fire.
We gotta do our rapid fire. We got 9 minutes to
Jacob,
get through
you want to read the rapid fire?
How about this? We'll do your rapid fire tonight, but phone calls we'll have to get into next week. We got 9 minutes before we gotta get off the air here tonight. Jacob, let's do some rapid fire, buddy.
Rapid fire.
Check it out. Boone's good with Jacob. This is his uncle, right?
Uncle Boone.
2 uncles. Uncle Boone.
Kids.
All right, here we go.
And animals love me.
I know.
If I could get girls to like me as much as kids and everybody.
Jacob loves him, man. And Daisy, the dog, loves him. Loves him. All right, let's do it. Paul Velasquez
says Machida, Weidman, and JDS Miocic picks. I'll go Weidman over Machida, although that's a hard one to pick. And I think Dos Santos is definitely beating Stipe Miocic. What do you think?
What was it? Weidman
Machida, because they switched Belfort out because it's
I'm gonna go Machida, man. I'm gonna go Machida.
That's not. I would take that bet, but I wouldn't be shocked at all. And Junior Dos Santos, Stipe Miocic.
Dos Santos.
Yeah.
Gotta go Dos Santos. I'm gonna let you read them while I,
He says, by the way, Natalia and AJ Lee tore the house down at main event. Great match.
I heard that Natalia wound up,
spoiler.
AJ Lee wound up retaining the Divas title.
I guess it's not a spoiler. It already happened.
Yeah,
already
happened.
Live.
But no champion tonight, so.
Ryan Clark, you said, who watches main event? It's a fact. More people watch main event than TNA. Check the numbers. And then he says, Raw is greater than Lockdown. And then he said, Raw is greater than Lockdown. He looks tired.
As far as ratings are concerned, yeah, you're probably right on TV, you know.
I don't know about that,
TV.
to be honest with you.
I don't know.
What does main event do? A 0.6, 0.7, 0.8?
As far as ratings, yeah.
Alright, well, TNA does 1.1, so that's over 1 million.
Right.
How's that?
I don't know if main event draws more than Impact. You could be right, though. You could be right.
Maybe. Mark Thompson says, Ryan, man, do you think it was planned all along to have Bryan in the main event of WrestleMania, or do you think they realized they effed up bad and had to add him to the match? And do you think it's now set in stone for Bryan to win the title at Mania?
I think so. We just talked.
You guys are awesome. Listening from Belfast, Ireland. It's very late. Thank you,
brother. Yeah, thanks for staying up. I think Daniel Bryan, the fact that he's added into the main event of WrestleMania 30, I do think that he wins the title. And you know what?
The question was, do you think
they had to change plans? They had to change. I mean, the crowd was letting WWE know, and that's the thing, man. WWE's letting them know with the yes chants and everything else that I think the original plan all along was to go Dave Bautista versus Randy Orton at WrestleMania. WWE realized that, you know what? If we put Daniel Bryan, or if we put Randy Orton and Dave Bautista with no Daniel Bryan, the crowd is going to shit all over that main event. We've got to somehow add Daniel Bryan to that main event, and they changed course.
I thought it was funny. I addressed it in my column. Everybody that I read, the comments on my Facebook when I talked about it, they said, oh, of course they were going to add Bryan. We knew it all along. They're not going to do heel versus heel in the main event of WrestleMania. I was like,
wasn't the original plan?
You're full of cover his other ear. You're full of shit, man. Nobody thought that. Everybody was giving up, blah, 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 blah. But, alright. Mac McLeod, do you think Sonnen plans to retire without TRT because they banned it, or is he just causing controversy with his comments? I think it's more of a situation where Belfort, by saying, give me 90 days, I'll cycle off TRT, then give me my title fight, is basically everybody draws the question, then you didn't need TRT.
Right.
If you're saying, give me 90 days to cycle off of it so that I can fight legally and pass my...
why have you been using
Why did you need it in the first place? If you're able to fight without it, why do you say, alright, let me cycle off of it and then I'll start fighting? I think Sonnen wants to maintain legitimacy or whatever, and say, alright, well...
That's a good point.
Honestly, maybe I can fight without it, which he will. You think he's going to cancel the Silva fight? Which, by the way, it debuted, and it's all Portuguese, and it's on the Fight Pass. Sucks.
So we can't even watch it here.
I'm watching it, but it's... Sonnen speaks English, obviously, but it's just...
Alright.
Cat Ambrose. Why does Stephen Kelly always ask you to reveal your sources? He does, too. And bash you on your threads when you report negative TNA news. Also, what are your thoughts on the missing Malaysian airline? You would know more about that one than me. First of all, Stephen Kelly, I don't know if you caught on to this yet. He'll jump on us anytime we say anything bad about TNA or negative. And he always, anytime we have a big story, prove it. I don't believe you. Who's your source? Who told you that? Blah, 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 blah.
Do you guys know how much hate I deal with on the websites? I get emails telling people to kill myself, or telling me to kill myself and die, and I hope you die of AIDS and everything. I'm so used to it.
They specify the AIDS?
What I've gotten emails before. But whatever, you know what I mean? There's always going to be those one or two trolls, and you just got to ignore them. Don't feed them, you know what I mean? Just ignore them. And then as far as the other question was...
The Malaysian Airlines.
Malaysian Airlines is crazy. I mean, people that, family members are calling people that were on board, and they're saying that their cell phones are still ringing, which they think means that, if they were in the water... their phones wouldn't be ringing, as the phones would have gone off, the water would have fucked them up, and they'd go directly to voicemail. But they haven't found this plane. It's been 5 days, I believe now. Something is very, very weird here. What that is, I don't know. Hopefully they find it. Hopefully they can get the black box and everything else. But it's a crazy story.
Nick Dodge has a good one. He says, when will we see Wade Barrett wrestle again?
Wade Barrett wrestling? I don't know. They've got him in the current gimmick right now with the Bad News Barrett gimmick. I mean, obviously, when they do have him wrestle, somebody's going to come on board and say, listen, I'm sick and tired of this Bad News Barrett.
I got bad news for you.
I got bad news for you.
I got you booked on a match with me, and I'm going to kick your ass tonight. Yeah.
They've got a storyline set in stone, so whoever they come up with, whoever WWE's creative team comes up with to face Barrett, that's probably what will be the angle.
Abe Ross says, thoughts on the Ring of Honor versus New Japan upcoming pay-per-view?
New Japan,
do they have a joint pay-per-view? No. Not TNA.
Ring of Honor, right.
New Japan.
There's a weekend show.
AJ's supposed to go
it's in May. There's 2 shows that weekend. One of them is in Toronto. Yeah. The other one is in New York City. You and I are going to the one in New York City.
Wait, what?
It's going to be a joint show between New Japan and Ring of Honor.
When is it?
The first show is Friday night in Toronto, and the second show is in New York City at the Hammerstein Ballroom. That show at
the June, when is it?
May.
May.
That show May.
So we're going to Raw and
16th, right? We're going to Monday Night Raw the night after Extreme Rules, and then we're going to Ring of Honor, New York City. It's a combined show with New Japan Pro Wrestling. That show at the Hammerstein Ballroom is almost sold out, so we've got to get our tickets soon.
Tickets.
Johnny Boy.
Did you scroll down? Oh, no, you didn't. Okay, Anthony Remy. It was 65 degrees here in Long Island, New York, and I love when you talk about the weather, Ryan Clark. Thanks, Anthony, for giving him permission.
I love talking about the...
You give him encouragement to keep going, and the 99% of us that don't give a shit about the local...
Oh, everybody cares about the weather.
Yeah. Michael... Where'd it go? Michael Benitez. Do you think Shawn Michaels will be brought in for WrestleMania and maybe be the referee for the Bryan Triple H match?
You know, it's Mr. WrestleMania. Shawn Michaels, I mean, listen, Shawn Michaels, I've said it time and time again, I don't think the guy's going to work another match. He keeps coming out. He said it a couple of weeks ago.
No, referee the match.
He's done wrestling. He's not going to wrestle anymore.
He the Triple H.
As far as appearances here and there are concerned, whether it be a referee or something like that, Shawn will be back here and there.
Yeah, so that doesn't answer your question. My answer is no.
At WrestleMania 30, there's no reason for him not right. Well, maybe
if they wanted a reason to give Triple H the win,
you know what?
It would make sense from the referee because he could help Triple H beat Bryan.
No, you know what? Shawn Michaels used to train Daniel Bryan, so they could have him pick sides.
Shawn did that, and he went to Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. He screwed Bryan and helped Triple H.
But they could have him at WrestleMania, have him pick sides. Daniel Bryan, the student that he trained, Triple H's best friend, something like that.
Max Aguilar Ruiz, sorry man, M-A-R will say, should Cesaro get a new finisher instead of the neutralizer? No, I think the neutralizer is a great finisher, to be honest with you.
It's a very good finisher.
It emphasizes his strength and all that.
Cesaro and the swing and the neutralizer.
Swing ain't a finisher.
Stick with that. It's not a finisher, no.
John Morgan, what's your weather website?
I try to keep that separate from...
Travis Carden. Hey Ryan, are you and Matt going to WrestleMania or are you guys staying at home? No, we have to work.
Yeah, we gotta work, man. It's gonna be a busy week.
Yeah, we're not allowed to be fans when it comes to big shows.
Right.
Christopher Brown, I want to clarify what happened in Winnipeg last Friday at the house show. It seemed what the trigger was that set Batista off when the DJ, I can't believe we're going to talk about this.
That's right.
The trigger that set Batista, oh God, the commas and shit. It seemed what the trigger was that set Batista off wasn't the DJ going after him in the front row, but 500 plus fans, 2 sections to my right, yelling "bitch Tista" at him after his promo.
There was an incident with the DJ.
I read about this, but didn't see it or didn't really know what it was.
We were actually supposed to have Billy Gunn's former mistress. Her name's Pinky. She goes by the name Pinky.
You had her on there before, right?
She was in the front row. She claims, I mean, listen, she's a drama queen. I'm being honest with you. She's a real drama queen. But she said that her kids were in the front row. She is the mother. We put an article up on the website.
I guess you're not going to answer my question.
We put up on the website that a mother...
Have we had her on here before?
Yes, we had her on.
When I wasn't here.
Yes.
You had her on.
Yeah. Right. That a mother had her kids in the audience. Very good interview. Had her kids in the audience, and they were hurt in the incident. She's a real drama queen. She's a girl. The kids are fine, and she's talking about a lawsuit against WWE and everything else, but we'll see where that goes.
And we follow that up by talking to Mr. Anthony Russell Letts, who says, any word on Sting to WWE talks? From what I've heard, talks have died down.
There's been no recent talks between Sting and WWE. I mean,
I don't know about talks, but he hasn't signed yet.
Yeah, he has not signed a deal. I mean, there's a possibility they could do a surprise type deal at WrestleMania, but as of right now, we don't have any.
And we keep hearing that priority word, and he's not a big priority.
He's not a big priority.
To the people that matter, he's not a big priority.
They are still talking with us.
Nathaniel Lippincott says, do you think the Triple H versus Daniel Bryan match will be good, and will Triple H really put him over? A, will it be good? Duh. It's WrestleMania, it's Daniel Bryan, Triple H. I don't see how it couldn't be good. Will Triple H put him over? I think so.
Triple H putting over Daniel Bryan?
Yeah.
Oh, Daniel Bryan's getting that win.
Yeah.
I mean, the one thing that you can 100% confirm.
But there's a difference between getting a win and putting someone over.
Putting somebody over.
There could be like a 20 fucking series of screw jobs leading to him.
Right, where he doesn't job clean.
Doesn't really put him over. Yeah.
There's one thing that, I mean, listen. Daniel Bryan is going to defeat Triple H at WrestleMania. Whether then he's going to go on to the main event. Does he win the title there? You would think so. I'm 99% sure that he's going to win the title during the main event. WrestleMania goes off the air. Yes, all the fireworks and everything else, but you never know.
One of our favorites, Mr. John Morgan, says, what did you guys think of the crowd's stale reaction during Hogan's opening segment on Raw? Good pop while he was coming out, but when he was talking, the crowd was just dead as far as I could hear. I agree, too. I would say that I'd take it one step further and say when I watch him on Raw now, he's just another guy already.
He's another guy.
He's just another guy.
He was always like that in TNA too, man, where he'd come out and he'd cut
they're not using him right. I thought it was cool last night that they had him intertwined into storylines, big characters, and big stuff leading into Mania. Whereas the week before, they just had him say, oh, I fucking love to be back. I'm glad I get to host.
Right.
Check out the network. See you later.
It's the same Hogan promo every time. What you gonna do, brother? Jack, dude. You know what I mean? So,
but you know. All right, Vincent Nugent. Ryan, did you watch Jeopardy yesterday and earlier today? And if so, are you jealous of Arthur Chu's?
I'm glad you brought it up.
He's on a roll, man. Deal with it.
I'm glad you brought it up because right before we came on here, Jeopardy airs here at 7:30 Eastern time. Half an hour before.
Setup,
So while we were doing our setup and we're doing the Facebook plugs and everything else, Matt Boone and I were in there watching it. And Matt has heard about Arthur Chu because I've been talking about him and saying, you know, he's
I've seen him once too. I just for only a quick second.
So Boone caught the full episode pretty much of Jeopardy tonight alongside me. We were watching it. Arthur Chu once again killed everybody.
He was getting his ass kicked
early on. He was getting.
Well, he first went in there, but they were only 5 minutes into the episode.
Right. So
anyway, down a lot though.
He wound up kicking ass.
Within 2 minutes, he was
wins
by
again.
Like 10
He's
times.
a cocky son of a bitch, man.
Yeah.
He's a cocky. I can't stand him, bro.
A true daily double. Of course,
I want Ken Jennings.
Alex, of course, calm down, Alex. A true daily double. Double my, of course.
I don't like Arthur Chu.
Don't insult me.
I don't like Arthur Chu.
Yeah, I agree. John Kearns, I don't know. Too many to get to.
Okay,
way too many to get to.
Really?
Holy shit.
All right, can we do the rest? We'll do the rest because we got to put him to bed, man. I blame it on Jacob tonight. We'll do a couple more.
How about 10, man? We got spoilers to do here. But,
spoilers and everything else. How about 3 more?
3 more we can do. John Kern says, what's going on with that possible NXT Mania match? I would say a lot of the NXT guys will be in the Andre Battle Royal.
I think so. They're either going to
They need 30 guys that aren't in matches or are going to do double duty.
They're going to do a separate match between the NXT guys. There was talk of doing that at WrestleMania, but I'm guessing that they're going to put him in the main event, you know, Andre, like you said.
Well, he looks fascinated. Every time one of us is talking, he's looking at us like, yo, you're not talking to each other. Who are you guys talking
to? So tired. You can tell he's tired.
We're on TV. We're on the TV, buddy. We're on the internet TV. Look.
He's tired.
Look at that.
He's exhausted. All right, couple good ones, man.
Couple good ones comes from Jeremy Clark. He says, who is the next giant to come to WWE with Big Show in his last 4 years and retiring at 46? They need to find the next big man who is not clumsy, no offense to Khali. We were talking about that one guy and
Rusev, man.
Rusev is giant.
I think Rusev is going to win the Andre Battle Royal.
Me too. He should at least.
Makes sense,
if he's in it, he should win it. Otherwise, don't put him in it.
Makes sense.
But there was somebody from, what the fuck country was it that we heard? I forget. It's not important, so forget it.
Okay.
He just screwed me all up here. Wow, I don't know where we are.
Just take one last one.
I don't know if this is the right thread. All right.
We'll take one last one, then we gotta get out of here.
Randomly point here, and I'll go to Matt Johnson. Hey Clark, thanks for posting that video over the weekend of that guy giving the homeless guy $1,000. Really inspired me to pay it forward and helping others in need. No question.
Hashtag pay it forward.
There you go.
Do it.
And just one more since that wasn't a question. Chris Farr says, how far will Bray Wyatt get over by beating Cena at WrestleMania? How long before Wyatt and Reigns main event together? First of all, I'll ask you a question. Do you think Wyatt goes over on Cena?
You know what? I think they're gonna give Bray the win. I don't know if it's gonna be a clean 1, 2, 3. There may be some interference, something like that. But I think they are gonna somehow give Bray. Cena goes over at WrestleMania.
Hogan comes out and throws some punches, helps Cena get the win.
I like that. I like that.
I think Cena's beating Wyatt. Now, do I agree with it? Hell no. So Wyatt should not be jobbing in his first big WrestleMania match. But I think he will.
Right. No, I agree. It's
what was the other part?
And he said Roman and Reigns.
When will Wyatt and Reigns the main event together? Hopefully not anytime real soon, because the Raw match wasn't all that great.
I mean, listen,
until Rollins came out.
They're building new stars right now. Reigns, Bray. They're two of the new stars in WWE. We're in a rebuilding period right now in WWE.
Transition phase. Yeah.
Transition phase. So, I mean, guys like The Undertaker, Triple H, people like that, they're not going to be around forever.
They're already not around.
Yeah.
They're both coming back from Mania for a one-time thing. When's the last Undertaker match?
I know.
A year ago against CM Punk.
WrestleMania.
When's the last Triple H match? Fucking SummerSlam against, was it Brock? I don't even remember. No, that was Punk and Lesnar.
Yeah,
shit, it's been a while, but that era's done. We're in the era now of Cena, Orton, Batista, those guys.
Right.
But we're transitioning out of that era into Bryan, Punk, if he was still around, Roman Reigns, Bray Wyatt, Cesaro's coming up. You know, these are the guys now. So
Matty Boone,
Ryan Clark,
for
Jacob, what's his last name? Clark?
Jacob Bryan.
I'm sorry.
Ryan Clark.
That's right, yeah.
Jacob Ryan Clark, brother.
Yeah.
Jacob Ryan Clark. Hey, can you say bye to all the people?
Could you say 4?
Say bye-bye.
4.
Bye, everybody. Hey, look into the camera. Look at them red eyes. Can you say goodbye?
Look over here, buddy.
Look at him.
There he is.
Can we get an up-close shot? Let's get
him up in there, man.
Let's get him an up-close shot before we get out of here. Hey.
Look at this guy. He's looking right at it.
What do you got?
Watch his hands.
Hey.
Hey, there he is.
Hey.
There he is.
Who's that guy?
He's smiling.
Was he laughing?
Yeah.
Who's smiling? Is that you? All right, let's do it.
We want your feedback. We want you to go to Facebook.com/Matt Boone WZR. You can give me some feedback. You let me know what you liked. You let me know what you didn't like. I'll do the stuff you like more. I'll do the stuff you didn't like less. I want to make you guys happy. You go to his Facebook, Facebook.com/ don't move. Ryan Clark WZR. I said that's Facebook.com/ Good job. Ryan Clark WZR giving me feedback, and that'll do it.
That'll do it, guys. We'll see you next Tuesday night, 8 to 10 Eastern Time, for Jacob Ryan Clark.
That's him.
Matt Boone.
That's me.
And Ryan Clark.
That's him.
We'll see you next Tuesday night, 8 to 10 Eastern Time, on WZROnline.com. Yes. Oh, yes. 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 Yes.